Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for day 2, week 1, spring split 2024 NBPL season. My name is Severio. We're going to take a look in the casting / analysis type, stuff and going over for this, event happening today. I like to preface always, this has live broadcasts and it hasn't been uploaded to YouTube. I actually start adding all of those to the other parts as well. For their respective streams, because considering that our casters for today being Hip Rain and Runekeeper, I want to make sure you guys have a chance of watching those two peeps who are really valued in terms of the casting pool for the game, as well as being able to be through for the community. So for that to be said, please make sure you guys give them a watch if you're looking for the real experience of having double casters on board for the casting of this. However, I just like to grab third pair of eyes, like I always say, for an analysis of the plays and having the power of pausing. Always a pleasure of having the power of pausing, so that way I can take a look in the scene about what the heck just happened and how did they do it. And trios is more of that beast when it comes down to that, and understanding that I like to see how these players kind of make minute decision makings, and then how it kind of revolves around the next set course of actions, where you would see the immaculate power of V1 Wuchen Havers with the Tessa, or not Tessa, with the Viper Ultimate, to like, okay, big brain play, right? But more so about the micro decisions as well. Positioning and such comes out really, it's really easy to kind of find that into solos as a narco playpoint player. Sometimes players can see, other things as well. So usually you take the time and seeing about those in your own gameplay of playing the game. I know a lot of Naraka players who, who play on a day-to-day basis. Find themselves to be more knowledgeable than others, and not just being able to provide information. Myself, though, I'm a Bloodbath main. Got him. But we're going to have a majority of players that actually have the opportunity if they're starting out, and they're like, man, the Pro League scene is such a different beast compared to how it is in the normal quick matches, ranked matches, Immortal War matches. So with that being said, we're going to start off here with the standings from the previous day. Gonna see about where we're scoring off here. Team JJH actually this is going to include teams that may not be in this grouping today, so keep that in mind. Once we start after the first or second round, the first round actually, we will actually get a good overall 18 team standings of everyone involved. Now 25 points is the minimum, right? And JDG is going to be at 11th, and that's for JJH. JDG though are actually going to be here into 11th place with 29.9. WBG and 10th with 31.1. 33.5 for FPX is ZQ. Bauda at 37.7. 45.3 for DRG. Now, obviously, with the scores that you were actually able to see through here, you can see very sporadic scores. Some double digits do make their rounds starting off here with with JJH having at 16.5 in that one game 5. But 16.4 for game 2 for WBG here, and you can see how that kind of happens. But then they have off games where it ends up being more so of a minimal value, and it's not going to be a bad thing. I mean, each game has a terrible spawn, and not being able to find enemies to contest towards, or rather dying out to Romy Yang and not having a Soul Bloom Essence to kind of succeed a fight. But the thing about Romy Yangs and trios, it's a lot more after the Romy Yang of you not holding down Soul Blooms. Usually in trios, you're going to have to find someone to fight. And the trios teams are going to make sure of doing so. And one thing that JL team is now is I'm not going to call them a gatekeeper right here for 6th placement, but they are going to be the middle ground value from the 25. So the average right then and there is meaning that for day 3 peeps who are going to be performing for their last day, they're going to have to make sure that they can catch this spot, because if JL earns enough points to actually succeed in passing through into being to the top forward bracket, then they're safe to go. But if anything happens, like I'm not saying that AS and Solo converts over to their trios team, but he's had a day 1 that was exceedingly very well with the 17 points, but then his day 3 or his day 2 was like a 4.6, if I'm not mistaken, for how much value that he was coming out with. And it teams that come off of this end, it's also the same case scenario, because when you're having your final day of performing, it's not the end of the world, but this is always a case scenario where you may not win all your fights, but the best part, like the most important aspect, is that you're not winning the fights, you're winning the process and knowing how to forthright, to learn that process and learning how it doesn't work to work towards making it better. And that's the real end game for a lot of these players, especially when you could take that into practice into your own games where, yeah, you may not have won the fight against this team or you not against this player, but now you know the process of what you kind of went over and doing and going against that to see about, okay, the opportunity here is looking at this at retrospect and then pushing forth into hindsight to then allow for yourself to succeed later on. Like that's how it kind of comes out here. But practice makes perfect. Cliche line, of course. Back into the score still, 5-2-1 though. Their day one performances and it's pretty impeccable for NBPL team to actually show up here. And one thing to note is that, you know, this team coming up from Vietnam, they had their chance of actually showcasing what they got. Look at this. Even though they had a, you know, like in a 0.5 game, right? A 6.5 game, 19.7, 17.9. Like they're earning honest points to match up against one of the top NBPL teams in here. Like I mean, we can go back to the bottom end. Like Bauda is in here, DRGs, WBG. Like these are teams that are like substantial for their, you know, position and being in the league still. And for 5-2-1 to drop in here, it's like HLG. Rest in peace, HLG. Not being in the NBPL, but their teammates have been spread out across different teams, such as with Paste actually joining J Team as a result for solos, and I believe he's a hybrid pick for trios. I'll have to double check that later on. But 5-2-1 here is doing a great chance for their first showing here for that point value. KLA, though, has themselves in the fourth place with 57.1. XCG with 82.8, and they're grabbing a double down 22.2 game coming up for this value. So XCG, like 2023 J Cup champions, dropping to third place overall, but they aren't that far behind from Wolves, for instance, because Wolves is starting off here with 83.6 in second place, and then OEG, as the summer champions, they're actually for 2023, they actually came out here for the 101.9 day, bro. It's kind of nasty. I got to be honest. Like, that's a pretty great value. But let's take a look in the scene for the first round picks. I'm really curious to see about how that one goes out for the trios for day 2. So let's get to it. All right. So with that being said, we are going to have here to be started for the round picks. We're going to have a good consideration here. First round selection actually going to have what seems to be three sand siphons with 2 Zapings, 1 Karumi for J Team. Starting off here, and we're going to have BBE actually today, I think, is their first day performing today. Yes, because Roy Shishi did his first day. Yeah, I was looking at Roy Shishi. I was like, oh, man, that's interesting. But no, he did his day 1 for solos. He's actually going to perform in day 3 as well for the grouping that he's in part with. But there we're going to be running the Wu Chen Tesla Viper comp into this round, of course. And I also want to make mention into scene about Roy Shishi in the solos because he's pretty good in terms of where he's positioned. So he should have a good chance of actually reaching to finals for the first time for this weekend, upcoming weekend, I should say. It looks like second round, though, choice is going to be choosing Cannonball for 2 teams. But Justina coming out here from lane from ALL. Very interesting choice. Most likely a V1 Justina coming out for that lane pick for the Justina. Just because on paper, right, I can just notate this. The Wei Shan can cause the staggers coming out for the gold focuses, and then with the freeze confirm coming out here from the Justina, she can get quick R&B blue focuses with the fan. Not fan. Well, I mean, yeah, she can use a fan, but the single hit blue focuses like the pole sword spear. She'll do a phenomenal job against targets to get a quick amount of quick damage. And then if Bo decides to run V1 Wei Shan, he can kill confirm as long as there isn't an enemy Wu Chen to port out the team. As long as he doesn't get Tessa staggered from the enchants from the V1, and as long as the enemy Yodohime doesn't slash him, right? Those are 3 factors that he's got to work against. So is it going to be worthwhile to go for a kill confirm, possibly for someone who's going to Wu Chen teleport their teammate anyways? Is it worthwhile to go for a V3 that negates stuns, staggers, or not staggers, stuns, the wind wall from Tumultuous which is what you will see, and you're not going to see Valdes, but as an extra benefit of the doubt for the damage mitigation on top of that, right? Like, are you really going to see that coming out? Maybe, but I am pretty sure he's going to be running the V3 as a result. 521's Akame, those solos. 521's Unique is actually going to be running out here for the Tumultuous pick, and he's going to be part with the trios team actually. If you guys aren't aware, he was in the Worlds J Cup finals for solos and for trios back to back. Like, this man was on it. Like, he was in there. He made it to the top 12 and then finalized out there with that 2 teams, with the 2 designated, roles as a solos and a trios player. But he's sticking to trios this time for his team. And of course, Wu Chen Tessa comp from for GG But here we go, final round. They're gonna have to really decide, considering we see a ban off of this end for the hero point increase of 1. I'm not sure where they're gonna be putting 2. You know, like, because if that no one is like, no one here is choosing like, okay, I lied. 521 are actually gonna rock the Sand Siphon. I think we have 2 sets of Sand Siphon, right? 1, 2. Back it up. So the reason I'm saying this is because the trio's round selection actually has this to be choose out the characters that get choice picked 3 times or more. You get a 1 point increase. And as it comes out here, yeah, it's going to be a 1 point increase. Actually, yeah, they're going to be consuming 2 points because they want to confirm that choice coming through here. Tough. It's not okay. So the reason I say tough is because 521 is expending those single hero points, because you can run 2 comps, safety netting 2 comps each and every time. If they don't have any sort of hero point increase, you can run 2 comps for 6 rounds. 3 comps, I should say. Sorry. And if you want to run a comp that's already been predisposed choice, then that means you can expend that +1 hero point. Now, should you do it when there's a +2 hero points? You can, but at the same time, a lot of the comps are actually switching out Zip Pinging for Kurumi, so you would only expend 2 points for that choice pick, and then being able to choose out Kurumi to swap out, so you don't expend 3 points, you expend 2 instead. Because Transformer comps aren't seeing Kurumi anytime soon. Until everyone starts choosing Kurumi, then Zip Ping is going to be available pick without her expending the hero points for the selection. But Cannonball is going to be available for no disclosure, with no consequence here for the other teams. Excuse me. It looks like that Water has himself here to actually be the Weishan here, so that should be good. I am curious to see of whether or not 17S's Fairy Shen is going to be popping off here, as it usually did when we were watching it yesterday, but for day 1, I should say. Really, I don't know. I mean, like, Cannonball comp has its virtues, so we should be able to see that coming out. It's just too strong, you know, to kind of work off against a lot of the other comps that can kind of make their move, like with the Sand Siphon comp. But after that Kurumi swap out for the Zip Ping, Zip Pings lose their fight against her completely, and the reason for that is because no energy gives I'm going to pause here what I'm saying is. No energy field is one thing for Tumult ult, but the fact that Kurumi can activate the sand field stamina loss, like the sand cognac that comes out from, unless it's cognac, then, you know, I got to double check that pronunciation. But if it's cognac, you know, hey, lit. But the one thing that comes out of it is that if we're going to see the Kurumis to dominate past Zip Ping Ying, it's because she can out-sustain, give damage mitigation, in short bursts amount of time, like damage mitigation of 99% from 4 seconds for the F3. But another thing about it is that sand circle lasts for, I think, 12 to 16. I can't remember this. 12 seconds. I think it's 12 to 15 seconds. I have to double check that one. The main purpose about what I'm trying to say is that Democh can throw a wisp in there, cause the circle to go into sand mode, and no energy is going to be gained. Actually, everything is going to be lost for your energy. On top of that, you get slowed. So anyone in a fight inside of a Temi circle then can cast Kurumi ult in an enemy circle, and then activate their own Temulch ult to actually force the sand circle to be a double down scenario where the enemy team can't do anything about that. V2 Temi is a must pick for that type of scenario. So we're going to take a look at seeing these guys' skill choices and variations for the ultimates and skills. All right, so with that, we have it coming through here. Let's take a look into seeing about the choice picks of their skills. I don't think anyone's going to do any funky, like I say. V3 coming out from Bo for ALL for the Weishan Good Man. V1, F2, and the F1 Yodo Hime. Oh, and the reason I say that is because they're going to be really relying on the F1 skill reset for kill confirmations that Revenge could take. Another thing, though, is that your Ron is actually going to be rocking the F2, right, as well as Dongqing, who are both Yodos respective in this into this choice pool of actually having the F2 Yodo. F3, V2 for the Kurumis, and actually V1 from Pi Squared, as I call him, PP, Pi. I'm just going to call him Pi Squared. I'm going to mix it between the 3 of them. But with everything coming out for these guys, F3 Fairy Shens are a staple now, considering the meta control, silence, and everything of that pick. And most Fairy Shens are going to be rocking cannons as a result because they're going to be trying to build up rage. That's the whole point of Cannonball, where she drops a beacon, Yoda goes in, she goes into doing damage. And while she's doing damage and poking, causing peel for enemies, Fairy Shen actually keeps the pressure going with cannon shots for her to build up rage. Again, for another cast of an ultimate, so that way Euron can go right back in as an example for Team Bowda. Second round picks though, F3 V3. Okay, GG is actually doing the burst comp as it comes out with the V3 F3. Burst comp meaning that LXM goes into V3. He does not do any sort of control for a long duration stun. He's going to depend on CGS's Tessa Enchant. But more importantly, the way it works is that he can actually be more mobile when it comes to chasing someone down and locking someone out, such as if he's looking to try to lock down a healer like Kurumi or Ziping, he causes the weakness heal extension, and then as long as he keeps if he sticks to her like glue, and he's able to get the V3 locking in where Tumult, or even to the extent of Takeda, who can't use any pushbacks, that's the main reason. Instead of using V2 ultimate, because only these two teammates are his line of fight, but he has F3 as well, and that's where the burst comes into play. Big shotgun blast damage that comes out against the enemies. And that's what's going to be the best case scenario for LXM coming out between these two. Now, obviously, this is interesting for J-Team. We're actually running V1 for Lee as a Kurumi. Usually you would see the V2 like we saw earlier with Kiki as a choice pick of a skill. The V1 is just a faster rate of healing than the armor. Like, you could say the Transformers can benefit it more. Yes, they do, because they don't have shields, right? Transformers like Wei Shan and Tianhai. But the V1 is a faster tick of healing, so if things get dangerously low for these enemies where they're going to use it as a safety net of a hoorah moment of just placing it down, that tick of heal of, I think it's 300 comes out, gives Zem and XLY enough chances of building up health back. Like, XLY will be using his V3 for the pushback, but also he gets healed back a significant amount. Zem is going to have a V1, which is a 16-second ult duration with the F1. Teams can end up negating that because of the ultimate. Like Wu Shin here, he's rocking the V2. It's a 14-second duration ultimate for Temi, but such as with 14 from Team EWG, it's going to be a really strong counterplay against it. That's how you cancel each other out, right? V1 is just a duration extension, which is actually, you know what? J-Team actually has a point for the V1 of actually rocking the V1, because this is kind of like a basis of what I'm trying to say next. It's the fact that V1 will actually give them more opportunity chances of picking up a Morris Blessing. Excuse me, I have my window show up. It picks up a Morris Blessing off of this end. And that's going to be a huge chance for them not to have to involve themselves into Rubber Yangs as often yet before. So we should be able to see that. But we are going to go ahead and switch that over to seeing about where Fat Milk comes out here. Not Fat Milk, Roy Shishi, and what he's going to have. F3V1 as a Viper. This is a hybrid pick. I don't know how I feel about it. The only reason I say that is because you're going to see Ben actually be that CC control. Yeah, 100%. Psh. We actually saw on day one how Vipers were actually able to use, they were able to time it very well. I can't remember the team that was actually playing through, but V1 was delayed for the Viper once the V1 of the enchant from Tessa was able to proc through enough duration to allow for that 3-second enchant to go all the way out, and then the 5-second stun to extend it out to nearly 8 seconds, which is a really good play. But the problem here is that enemies can use ultimates to counteract that, kind of, as long as they burn the abilities. They shouldn't have a problem. Like, for instance, TE with Leo, right? Dropping the beacon, putting Yodo in it, and then all of a sudden, Han gets caught into enchant, and then the stun happens right afterwards. They would burst the heck out of the Fairy Shen ultimate, but LYD has ultimate, right? Like, LYD, if they don't lock down LYD, this is the issue with this choice pick, because you have to have at least one sense of a silence in your kit for the Viper. So we could see the performance work well against Sand Siphons, right? Because they're not going to be immune to anything except for the V2. Like, Pampy could actually use his Takeda Fear and pushback to deny any of these guys, but if it's an 8-second CC conclusion, duration, right? Unique is going to be the only person that can iframe through for Tessa when the F comes out, or the V1 enchant happens, and then Roy Shishi can actually be able to catch the stun afterwards if Unique wants to stick to it. throw a wisp down to one of his teammates so that way they can't do anything for neutral attacks. But that's the point. This Sun is going to be allowing for free blue focuses to be thrown out. End of story. If a Unique wants to be the hero of the day, he can ultimate right afterwards and then deny energy and all that stuff. So those guys are locked in, and in 5 seconds, he's going to have to defend his teammates. It's a very scary opportunity. I mean, Takeda's still going to have his chance here for the V3 to be pushed back, so that way Unique can counteract and work with it. So that way, even though he's not going to be able to do anything in ground unit for him, he's going to do a heck of a lot of control for his teammate. So, it comes out to it. I'm kind of hoping to see what allows for the team comps to kind of work with that Justina and the Yoruhime with the F1. If ALL is really going to be working with that, that's going to be crazy. If it works, if it goes crazy, I'm going to be going ballistic because Justina is a choice. I know Moxie, she's looking to try to get a Justina MVP, and I'm not sure we're going to get one today, but I'm hoping to see where Justina's kind of lie out here, even though there's only one so far that we've seen. But the spawns are going to be pretty self-sufficient. You can actually see it here. Let me pause this. With the Salvation Podium, the Imperial Village. I mean, this is Holoroth Sunny map for the first round and the third round, and then we're going to have Holoroth Cloudy for the second round. So there's no Fireflies in the overworld in Holoroth that we have for selection, actually for any of them, between solos and trios. But we do have a 5-2-1 spawn ordered by the Pinnacle Town. I'm looking at J-Team spawn here at Camel's Hump near the Medtop region. Actually, I think they're in the Medtop region. They could be at the very edge. It could be the case, but I'm really hoping to see these spawns coming out here, or the first seconds of the fights. And we're going to begin here. Like I said at preface, the experience is best beheld by the live broadcast. So make sure you guys take a look at watching that if you want the full experience of the broadcasters and casting, of course. So, but, I'm here. Hey, how's it going? But we're going to be going ahead and seeing about J-Team actually falling out here against KLA. They're going to be going towards the realm of the region of Medtop, and they're actually pushing towards this Kurumi JT's, the Kurumi Solan skin. Such a good skin. KLA's CXE, though, is bare bone, has nothing to his kit. He's only had a cannon. CXZ going to find one. But BBE, they're going to be starting off this fights out here against TE. BBE actually looking to be in a good spot for gear, but anything can happen here. F2 comes out here as a response, and Han is actually going to avoid the scare, or the Han's going to see his teammate go for the scare rush, but a shotgun blast with Fat Milk actually being the reciprocating end for this kill. We're going to see whether or not Roy Shishi finds his chance of pushing past his opponent. TE Leo gets caught into those 1-2s. The blue focus gets released for a delayed vertical. Ben finds himself, though, with an ultimate cast to be ready. And it looks like BBE actually turns that fight around. I'm going to watch that again. Hold on a second. Because I'm really curious to see what happens here between TE. TE finds himself. Okay. Scare Rush comes out. TE Han actually finds, death. Of course, yeah. I was kind of confusing between BBE, but look, BBE, they got the kills. We work with those. CXE, though, over to this region, into the Medtop. Watching this, how J-Team drops in here. I think 17S looking to try to space this out. He still doesn't have any armor, I believe so. But CXZ finds his chance of just hitting that F2, repositioning him back where his team is, and the parry comes out. XLY grabs a kill. RMB comes out. Lee goes down. We're going to see a clean coming out here. The Soulman gets picked up, but no armor for CXZ, so that value goes down to half. And there is going to be a chance for J-Team to get it. Oh my gosh. XLY with the parries, dog? We cooking. Lee, though, gets rezzed. Elimination is not granted. Well, I mean, it could be, but we're going to have to see whether or not the spawns come out here between all these players. LXM into the Imperial Village. We're going to see the V1 come out here, and there's going to be a chance for the deletion of that Takeda. And there it is. The WFC goes down. GG picks up 3 eliminations off of Imperial Village. They still have Beast Pen to loot out if they haven't done already. And they have blue armors and 1 purple on standby. So working out pretty well in purple weapon in the kits as Viper has it. I didn't see any Vipers with F2. All I've seen was the V3, V1 variations between the Vipers this round. So we're going to have to see how that's going to turn up for V1, V3. I don't see any V2s. Maybe they're trying to find value off of it, but they can't because it's 2 seconds and you're stuck in animation still. It's kind of, you're still going to have only 2. It honestly feels like you're only going to have still two teammates that are going to work with that V2. And you're still locked in animation. You can't do anything except try to throw a blue focus that may or may not come out. Reishi finds himself, though, in a position of actually seeing about Xiaohu, who's going to enchant. I try to iframe through the Tesla Ultimate, and it works. But Reishi hold check the heck out of Water. Water gets eliminated as a result, as no ultimate is available for him. Reishi, though, gets caught in the cannon mode after the Goomba Stomp. And, of course, Fat Milk being the chance in the back line. It's going to find the opportunity of killing out Don Xing, and Ben is going to pick up the elimination. Of course, there's going to be armies coming up against Zhao. Zhao's going to look to try to go to the sky. His ultimate's done in 5 seconds, and then with it, we're going to see Roy Shishi heal right in front of him. 3, 2, 1, and there's a D-Mech form. Roy Shishi finds himself to jump LMB, spam the heck out of Zhao, and that's going to be eliminations number 6 for this team, and BBE is doing some work out here with the V3, or V1 F3, but they haven't popped the V1 yet. They didn't find a need to. Shishi just working for being the burst comp and then being like a hybrid choice. CC control to the damage output, which is good. I mean, I can see it. I can see the magic, but I got to see how the V1 kind of operates. If they're gonna have to use it defensively or offensively, because it's a 5-second stun. Like, you're gonna be pushing everyone away from you, and as long as they have abilities to kind of counteract it, like the Wei Shan that we saw, or Wei Shans in general, it really comes down to the team. And how they can work around the enemy's skills if they're able to use it while being CC controlled. Now, Lane finds himself with his teammate. We're going to see a pitter-patter coming out here. A Soblum, actually, or not Soblum, a good amount of control with that Moonbane could be doing a lot of damage towards GG here. Oh my goodness, free dashes left to right. GG, I think CZS is done. Yeah, he is. But he does get Wu-Chen ported out. And these guys are in the zone into the Moonbane, still into the southwestern region, and you can see 330 actually backing off here. CGS, did they not grab his body? I think they didn't realize that he was going to die. Actually, let me see that. Replay that, because CGS should have been teleported out, right? Let me look at where he's at. Where's 330? Isn't 330 right in front of him? Oh, because he's stuck inside his zone. Okay, he's stuck inside the Moonbane. They can't do anything to res him. It's too risky. Yeah. Good decision making. I mean, like, it's too risky to trust me. Don't grief yourself with the Moonbanes. It can happen really quickly where you lose all your health, and then also the carrier of the Moonbane can actually hear the smacks of the Moonbane, and it's not a fun experience. But we do see the first elimination for ALL here, continuously putting the pressure through with that Moonbane, and then having the V1. Yeah, it's pretty good. But we're gonna have to see that in Roma Yang, so because Roma Yangs are the basis of it. They're definitely not going to contest Morris Blessings. 100% can't. They 100% can't contest Morris Blessings unless they have a god tier sense of being able to anticipate for third parties and then back off and not have to consume anything as if they just did. But Pampy and 521, they haven't gotten eliminations yet. They haven't been eliminated. Knocking on the table for that's made out of wood. But Pampy finds that is mahogany. No, it's not. But Pampy finds himself against Pi Squared. JDG doesn't have any eliminations. Excuse me, pardon of the word. While BBE, still in Metop, are actually going to find J-Team. J-Team having the high ground here. No Anakin, no loss of limbs. Roishishi, though, is in the bottom ground. These guys, right, 6 eliminations. They're cooking today. They're at 13th overall. I think this is their first day playing BBE. So we should see the performance kind of be showcased here for today and seeing how their scores lay out until the day 3 of their second day performance. But Ray Shishi and their team, okay, here we go. Let's see how this comes out here. The enchant comes out. Ray Shishi backs off and resets. He's thinking about it. He confirms it against Lee. Lee is locked in here and look for the V2 or V1 ultimate, actually. Lee's going to see his chance of getting locked away. He's going to recast the ultimate into the corner. No West is going to allow for the slow, but it looks like BBE start holding on to the ultimates. Ben finds his second enchant to be ready. We're going to see this chase and we see how well the V1 Roy Shishi play might be coming out here. If not, he's going to be just playing the range game. These guys are just going to poke this out. They're going to chase. No ultimate cast from Temi yet in XLY. They're actually repositioning here for a more open area where there's no denial for the for scare rushing and getting out of ultimate. Oh my goodness. And the chant comes out here, but Lee dodges it. Zem is going to find his chance here. This is not going to work. The F ability is still up. Oh, it looks like the ult cast didn't even come out here from that from the Temi. Zem goes down. XLY, like I said, he's going to be using his Furin ults as much as he can, but Lee tries to look for the tether here. We're going to see Roishishi 1v1, but the team loses track of Takeda and pushing him away, and they find the eliminations as fast as possible. XOY gets caught into the 1-2-3. Ben gets his chance here, but XOY gets caught into the enchant. There's going to be an F1 coming out here. He's going to get eliminated. We're going to see Lee actually get the enchant, and that's going to be it. They get the res back. BBE. Hey, I got to watch that. I got to watch what happened to Temi because I'm curious. Did he use F1? No, he tried to use ultimate. Oh. Yeah, that's tough. That's actually really tough for Zem for that opportunity there. But, hey, BBE cooking. They got the V1 off. They got the stun. I mean, that's the thing. Temi it's a make or break. If he had to use his F ability preemptive, then that's going to be a cost to him. Like, they had to burn the Temi F. completely. And if they do burn the Temmie F, that Temmie has the ult. 100%. Because the longer if the ult is like a 14, if it's V2, right, 14 seconds, Temmie can then just build out energy for his team to just get out there, right? They don't have any reduction to energy, and they'll breathe stamina through their lungs. But the only problem that comes out of that is the duration is, it depends on seeing how well the Viper wants to do that. But I mean, like, here's the thing, fan is a thing. So they can get ranged blue focuses if they're like just an inch away from the zone of the circle. If they can't leave it to burn time, they can just spam those blues from the fan inside that circle. Or longsword beams, for instances. And it's just that's just like a case scenario, though. We'll see what happens here. Romyang spawning here in 15 seconds. A Vermilion burst mine over by Boomerang Cliff. This is going to be interesting. Yo, why is KLA all the way out in Boomerang Cliff like this? That's insane. That's insane to me. Yushan Ruins was where their position was. But KLA, let's take a look at the scene about whether or not they make it to the realm. And if not, let's take a look and see. All right, there it is. The rooms are made. ALL is with KLA. The second room hasn't been filled up yet, though. CXC, it looks like 17S finds a gold jade. I still have to make the spreadsheet. But CXC has himself to really get himself into a whole blue, be in the face of danger. Remember, Yodo. Ooh, okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Nice free. Okay, now is a good cast. And you know what's funny? CXZ, if he spam his dashes as fast as possible, yeah, he can actually commit towards this and getting his F2 back up here in just 10 seconds. But the freeze comes out here. This is the control that I was making mention. Cannon shot comes out. We're going to see QGG actually being pushed out here, but KLA is at half health HP for the team as a total. We are going to see Revenge look towards this with the freezes coming out, but it's not going to be confirmed due to the CC control. The blue focuses that the Yodohime, actually F1, I forgot. ALL has a F1 just of Yodohime. That's crazy to me. And that's going to be a chance to kill a CXZ. Bo finds his opportunity here. Revenge is down, but ALL is still holding on with Lane. Not having ultimate here. He's going to have his F2 up for a combo breaker, 47 seconds. QGG finds the 1-2-3s and reverses it over to Lane. Lane's going to have his chance here. F1's negated, and there's an army coming up from the dual Howards. A bow shot to try to confirm the 17S. Sees his teammate get caught out here with the Merciless Havoc, and we're going to see a missed kill opportunity here. The Pitter Patter comes out here. We're going to see ALL's bow avoid those bow shots like tomorrow. And then an F3 for KLA 17S is massive. This is Scarce to the Sky. 20 seconds. Come on, guys. EWG is going to win the Romyang after a fight against 521. And that's going to be the case. ALL working with this comp. It's an impressive feat. I mean, the Cannonball comp is a do-or-die comp. Watching back into that, actually. I'm going to watch back. real quick. Real fast. Because I want to make sure I'm seeing a better chance of like how this kind of operates off this end. So... Back it up. So Yodohime denies Justina Freeze by F2 casting, F2 recasting, and then the ultimate as a whole. Like CXZ walks into the face of danger, right? You see Lane actually activates his ult, and that immediate activation for the F2 into ultimate is just for the fear that the freeze could come out at any time. Now 17S gets frozen, QGG gets frozen, and that's a refresh for the free dashes to come out for the V1 Justina ultimate. And as CXZ activates his V3 for those extra slashes, of course his Farius Shen 17S purposely puts himself into the ultimate, but it does deny the rage gain coming out of it, and all the ultimates are being casted out here from KLA. As a result, after the ultimates are done, ALL has a free real estate position, but with Revenge actually just putting himself in there as a Yodohime, it's a little bit risky. CXC actually sees, or Revenge actually goes down here as a result. We could honestly have seen a bit better of the control from the initial ultimates had been cast from QGG and whatnot. With 17S dropping a beacon for the team, but I don't even think that was allowed. I don't even think they allowed that. Because the beacon, like you can see the ultimates coming out here for the cast, even with that chance, 17S actually needed to force his ult for himself. You can see it right there. Beacon drop immediate ult because he would have been caught into a free stagger and he would have been dead. All right, so with that being said, ALL really is going to be cooking out here for the pressure. And remember, with that, with Revenge with F1, any kill gets him a reset off of the F1. So Yodohime has as her advantage. F2 is really good for the CC control for themselves, for pushing back teammate, doing a lot of damage in a short amount of, like, the auto track through wall, to auto track actually out of Temi circles as well. I saw that, and it just gives her an opportunity to actually do that, just instead of using a staff, for instance. In the other Romi Yang, the third one, we are going to see FPX up against Bauda, and it looks like Xiaohu is down, like, completely. And this fight's been going on for actually a good minute. So with that being said, we should see FPX's Water finish off his Jing with the 1-2s, and then Dongqing goes down. It's only a 1v1 Bauda Peak versus Water. These guys have martial artist Will Hook form. 1-2s to be released to 1-2-3. Oh my goodness gracious. Alrighty then. Alright, Hong Sword versus Dual Blades. This is going to be the 1v1 uppercut grapple bump. F1's available for oh, wait. You could have went for the hits. Wait, he's actually going to be able to get this off. F1 negation. That's it. No shot, bro. Yo, he's like, yeah. Cool. Wait. So FBX Water didn't go for an uppercut? That uppercut was so free. Misinput. He was trying to go for a blue focus. I mean, he hits this blue focus, but look, Peak used it against him as well, man. That's crazy. That's honestly that's tough. Also, that outfit goes hard, man. I like the tan cargo. I like the cargo pants. Cargo pants. Man's about to have some Fat Farm merchandise out here. I'm gonna stop. We are gonna have them to pick up a gold staff though. That's huge. And over to KLA, losing out their Rummy Yang. 521 is here as well. Why is 521 here as well? Hey yo, I'm gonna have to double check that. KLA 17 Nesto finds his chance. Beacon drop might be available here. 521 is pretty working this out as a last, hoorah moment. The Takeda Furin is available. The Semicircle denies his whole region to be crossed across the board. F3 is up in 1 second from 17S. Unique, trying to put pressure on 17S. It's going to work here. There is no V3, though, for the Temi, and there's no chance to stop 17S here with this free F3 shot, but the F1 from Unique was massive. He holds R&B for the blue focus. He's got a beacon. He might use it. Not going to happen. Unique is easily able to complete a follow-up here, but his teammates are down. He's the only one left, and the Wei Shun confirms he staggers. 2 down, Yin and Unique, and I think Pampy as well. And that's going to be it for this team as a result, as being fully eliminated into this round. 5 kill eliminations, though, for KLA so far. Hopefully they pick up the Soul Blooms as the energy goes through for the Romy Yang depletion. Dongqing, though, and FPX as a whole, these guys won pretty early on to their fights in the Romy Yang. Battle's the last ones, but they have 100 seconds on it. I don't know where ALL and EWG are in DRG, but Yaron finds a precast for the F2, gets caught into the bow shot. That actually throws his whole move out of balance. JDG Kiki actually being the last one to try to get followed here, but there's going to be FPX shock waving with those cannon shots into the distance. They're actually going to be just blacking off here. Dongqing, actually FPX as a whole, they're going to have Romy Yang depletion. Maybe we see Water without it, Xiaohu without it, but they're going to be looking for third parties, and that's a forbidden seal. Blueberry in the sky, everyone's going to be able to see that. Yaron looks for R&B, connects it off of Tutty, but Tutty sees his teammates in danger, pushes off, backs off, and then has ultimate, I think, actually, to this point. Yaron, though, he's got his ultimate to actually go off here and do a massive amount of short burst damage. The Kurumi Circle keeping them alive. I think that's the V1 Kurumi Circle, right? No, that's a V3 or V2. We are going to see Yaron, though, holding this horizontal. He's got F2 available, so with that being said, he can close gap towards Tutty. Tutty doesn't catch him, and you're going to see the kill coming out here from Yaron. The solo pick up from Dongqing, who goes for the uppercut, confirms it, and then gets knocked back due to the cannons coming out from the passive Jing from Bauda. Ironically being passive, but he's going to be in the edges of the circle as the Forbidden Seal is still active. Water finds Kiki, Yaron finds Xiao, and Dongqing finds Yaron, and that's going to be the case scenario for these folks. With FPX actually not having Xiaohu picking up a Soul Bloom, he's not going to be able to get rezzed here. He's going to immediately die. These guys do have a farce amount of, like, just immaculate amount of gold to actually buy him back if there is any sort of response to be available. You can see Yaron actually in soul form, but JDG's Pie Squared is hiding this one out, going for the reses on foot in the zone. This is not going to affect him as much because this is early on before Shadow 2 closes. He's trying to get both of them to be on equal variance of the percentage for their ultimates, or not ultimates, for their souls to be rezzed. As Tutty gets himself to get rezzed, he's going to immediately heal, as he should. Weakness escalation's at 70%, 80 now. Pie Square have to be quick with this because Kiki as well as Tutty are going to be running in the same field of the ballpark. I'm not sure if he has V1 though. I can't remember who was the V1. Who was the V1 Kurumi? I'm gonna double check that one later on. Iben though, can't scare rush off of that. Yeah. Boomerang Cliff is weird because like it's just an empty map in the north, but there are stuff behind there, such as the Matrons of Yushan ruins. You know, I'll stop. But this is the Yushan village. Reishishi and EWG, or Reishishi BBE in EWG. They'll be having themselves to contest as Roma Yang. This match has been going pretty smooth so far, quickly as can be. And into this, we're reaching actually the 39-minute mark into the recording. Very nice. But EWG is going to rush towards us. A Draco Storm. GG actually picks up that Draco Storm from the chest. Very nice. Free Roma Yang. Really? Wait. What? Wait. Head scratch moment. I mean, Morris Blessings. Are there two Morris Blessings out there right now? Or is only one, right? Because GG picked up the Draco Storm. I'm not seeing the next Morris Blessing. Let me take a look at the map. Come on. Let me look at the map real quick. Because these guys picked up Draco Storm too. All right. I mean, this makes sense because they know BBE was actually nearby. So that was going to be an insurance policy anyways. And because they didn't use any ultimate, it's the case scenario. But, word? I mean, I'm not going to say, we're not going to see the WTP buff, which is the White Tiger's prowess in trios, but I think we would if it was in the Morris Blessing, maybe. I mean, most likely, I don't think these teams are going to be choosing that due to the Draco Storm buff with a 3-minute timer. That's just too much pressure to deny, and the healing as well that comes out and being offensive with it. Because if the holder gets a 40 healing on top of the 20, like I mentioned before, it's just that's the icing on top because. Not only are you going to be giving staggers to enemies who are trying to parry at the best convenience, but it's also going to hit them with a 140 damage or so towards them, like towards their armor and health. So, big time. Not 280 total, just 140, whichever comes first. Whichever they have available. Eliminations so far, BBE rocking the house with 9 eliminations here. 6 eliminations for ALL in second place so far with the amount into this lobby. We are going to see a fight over by the Pinnacle Town with TE and B and J team poking each other out, and with it we are going to see XLY get himself into the sky, and yeah, not sky, but he's getting pretty close. These guys have level 2 Takeda ultimate ready to go for V3, but they still have the purple armor. And actually, I want to bring up a replay. EWG versus 521. 521 lost his fight. This is the first Roma Yang. We saw the KLA fight them afterwards at the Boomerang Cliff, but EWG9 finds Pampy. Pampy gets caught into the uppercuts. Oh, that's all the control that he needs. And the jump R&B to confirm it. And there's going to be a chance for the R&Bs. The F1 actually catches Unique as a result. He's going to force his own F1 if he needs to right now to force his ultimate to counteract the enemy Temmie ultimate. Pampy finds his parry, but the Takeda pushes back. And there's going to be another Takeda pushback from Pampy who's going to pick up the fan as fast as possible. Oh, maybe he is. Yes, he's going to press 3 on the keyboard in order to do so as a default choice. But 9 is actually going to be getting parried back to back. Pampy is going to be picking up nearly as much weapons as he's kind of hoping for. We're going to see this chance for the free blue focus and then negating it to Kaden Fury Blast. Pampy, Unique, 5-2-1. They get eliminated into that Roma Yang whole. Now EWG, they're still cooking with this Jade. Oh, is that Arachnid Leaves? Yikers. In solos, that Jade is going to be, first day was a menace. I didn't see as much as in day 2. But that Poison Jade can hurt a lot of players emotionally, psychologically speaking. No, it's definitely a free burn, and getting direct health damage in the middle of a trios fight, as long as the sustain is given there, the only person that wouldn't really benefit off of it is Wuchen for his team. But we will see. Han finds himself here, finds that these guys are still rocking blue armor as well for TE, considering that they do have a transformer for LYD and then the V3 coming out from Fairy Shen Beacon. Just a heads up, V1, V2 armor from the Fairy Shen Beacon is more than V3. So not to say that V3 is inferior to them. No, V3 has that opportunity for your team to get saved, but also for you to build up rage. So that's a whole case scenario for the game. It's just a note that they have different values for the armor. As a heads up, I'm just giving you basic knowledge. Okay. Also, what are you guys eating for dinner tonight? That's a reference to Ben Post. For everything coming out here, FPX is going to be rushing in here from Igneous Mound. They're going to find themselves still rocking into Valiant Challenger mode, actually. for another 2 minutes. TE is going to be come through for a rush down. Dongqing hits the bell, finds him, sees him, goes for the secondary bell, finds him, see him. This denies TE from actually getting any visual confirmation on their enemies, and you can see that immediately as he rushed right into it. DRG, though, over to the region of the stash of, I think this is the Kucha stash. Yes, it is. We're going to see ALL actually be over here into what seems to be an ambush if it comes out. That's what WFC is for. Look at the DRG's Moonlight looking to go at some range shots. He's getting hit. He's getting pelted. As it comes out here, Moonlight going to have to back off here and go for an armor heal as it comes as a result. But I think he's actually armor healing. Yes, he's passively armor healing, restoring from an F1 coming for his ability. Back into the city, back into the Plume Castle. My mistake. We're going to see XLY get rubber band from that fan. But LXM finds his chance here. Finds an opportunity to heal in the corner of the midst of danger while this Temi circle is in their zone. And with it, LXM gets a full reset. He has V3 down. I don't know who they went towards, be it one of the enemies, but it looks like any of the ultimates to be casted preemptively from XLY and Lee and Zem, or the reason that they're still alive, because they preempted it. But this is funny. LXM is actually, as long as he gets caught in the wisp, but he's protected by that whole block as a result. And J-Team is actually going to keep the tether from Lee, who's keeping Zem with the defense mitigation and the heal over time. Third party coming out here from JDG. DRG is going to be coming here for a third party as well. Zhao Hu from FPX. This is a bad situation for GG. They got to get out of here immediately because there's no opportunity for them to get any sort of time from escaping the third, the fourth, the fifth party. Like, this is not good. So they're going to have to regroup, and J Team is still going to be seen as the low health targets. FPX takes capitalization off of Lee, locking him out. We're going to see Zhao Hu in the middle of all this danger, and with that, Zem is actually going to be the only one to kind of get out of here for this points. For the enemy team. Of course, a nice whisk throw, dog, but GG finds their chance of actually ambushing FPX. That's that's a position. The high ground here is impeccable, but I think one thing with this amount of terrain is going to give them is an opportunity, right? Let's take a look in the scene. Parry, no parry. XLY doesn't have pain because the blue focus comes out and that's an immediate kill. I was about to say, the preemptive F1 there would have been saving his moment to live, but Zem finds some chance here in hiding out by the Achilles crest in the second level, technically the third level. There's like 7 levels to that thing, but I'm not gonna count it. We're gonna see GG lock in for a looting of XLY's remains, and as that comes out, you can see that the ultimates are ready for all of these teammates. I don't know if Tessa has 2, meaning if she has 100% rage, or she's in the median region between 55 and 99. But we'll see. A cast coming out from CGS, a V3 from LXM. He's got the F3 down. He's looking to try to kill off Kiki, and the jabbing comes out here. And there's no chances to get out of the V3 silence because there's no way to activate abilities. And LXM is, he's going to pick up the 2 eliminations for his team because of that. And the Soblin pickup here for CGS as well for him to build up rage. Tuddy getting to the sky, has the gold armor, but JDG's, Kiki, and Pi Squared are down. Tuddy's going to heal up this armor as fast as he can. Now, this is going to be where a lot of respite's going to be made. TE are spamming the heck out of, like, LYD is spamming the heck out of the fan to try to push someone out. And that scare rush is immense, but Pi Squared down. The remains are now not going to have a chance of being resable. LYD somewhere in the front line with that fan, man. He's throwing too many blues, though, for my liking into this region. But he doesn't have to worry about cicadas. He's fighting just pretty much any of the regions. But the only thing is that Viper LXM, he could find a V3 an F3 opportunity if he's holding blue focuses, because even though it's blue focus, a gold focus smack like that confirms a knockdown, which gives his teammate on the sight line for not a clink but a guaranteed blue focus. Right, that's the best case scenario with F3 Viper. If a fan teammate comes out to hold blue focus and you get an F3 knockback, or to the knockdown, and then they get the free flop, that's huge. You can even get an R&B off of that as a Viper to follow up with it to keep the staggers going and to allowing for that. But CGS GG, they're next to a Morris Blessing. They are not going to have any opportunity opening up that Morris Blessing if it hasn't been opened up already. Oh my goodness, I forgot about Grief Bane. Yeah, the extra Moonbane that came out. Nice armor swap coming out here between 330 and LXM to swap it out, and then there's gonna be a common armor swap, actually, or a blue armor swap coming from that point. 3-to-8 ratio for CGS for this supply game, so he's being very careful. A lot of cannoning between each other in a bounce shell. I saw that. With LYD though, TE is gonna have their chance of holding this corner bound by the tree. They got the Fairy Shen Beacon coming down here to try to force a ultimate from Han to actually use it. and for Leo to actually keep farming Rage back. And then this is where ALL actually going to have their chance of getting pushed out because of the Fairy Shen. Nicely done for Han. However, these guys are full reset, and that is the Justina ultimate. That can freeze Han for 1.6 seconds, and that can be all that's needed. But it looks like LYD is locking himself towards them. And with everything coming out from Han, he's getting caught, and he's going to be running out of options here very soon. He's got ultimate. The F2 comes out, the F1, the F2 for the recast, locks Lane down for a couple of seconds. I'm not sure how many dashes he's got left, but Lane is going to be seeing the LYD ultimate as a Wei Shan, but it looks like TE are backing off here as a result. Doesn't get a successful teleport there for what he's kind of looking for, but DRG is actually backlining this. Cannon shots comes out for the Clink. We're going to see TE's actually look at Han's demise here. He's in the corner. He's in the front facing in the face of danger. He's in literally no man's land with as much range shots that are coming out, and Han is trying to get defended, but the whisk throw comes out, and Han gets caught, and that's going to be a kill for DRG. Locking through. Wu Shen is actually going to be caught out for a lot of damage being dealt, but he gets a heal back almost immediately with Moonlight being inside of the state of activating the F ability. TE and GG are inside this building, but I think LYD is down for the count into zone. Leo is going to be the only remaining link, while DRG is going to be looking to try to lock away from GG from this tower because they are doing an immense amount of pressure here. The F3 comes out here to try to give some regen back from 330 and guarding GG from that point from any range shots. But cannon shots can hit the wall and allow for splash damage. Now, FPX is inside this building. They're actually working for placement. I'm okay with that. 5 eliminations, but they're going to be hiding in this building, but avoiding cannon shots is not going to be possible. The Flame Bringer comes out, and we're going to see Bauda actually walk down through here with Yaron being in the front line. He's going to see Fat Milk. Fat Milk is going to see the chance, but VVE finds a V1 ultimate. Is it going to work in their favor? No, it is not. And they're going to be looking to try to go for a res in open view, but Roy Shishi can grab it. Yes, he will, but Ben is having 1 HP. Flip the armor. The Flame Bringer comes out. That's going to kill off Ben again, and Roy Shishi actually looks to try to force out a way to try to look for another team for a instigation moment. He's going to get heals off, but that burn is going to be it. And Dongxing finds the kill with the Yorohime, a double kill between EOWG9 and Roy Shishi. That was an unfortunate Wu Chen teleport to actually deny the ultimate for the V1, but it is going to be okay. LXM finds his chance here, getting caught to the R&Bs, though. No, it's not okay. LXM is actually going to find the Wu Chen port for this team. Yaron actually in the back line here. They're actually going to find Bauda as a result, but GG LXM does not have time to ult here, or not have ultimate just ready just yet. R&B is coming out here from Yaron, and they're really high. They really are wild haymaker ultimates, to say the least. But we will see if this hill, is to die on, because the zone's going to be closing here in just a second. 3 minutes left until the end of the match. DRG's Wu Shen is still keeping the high ground on top of there. He doesn't have Merciless Havoc, but he does have that staff to try to deny any sort of range shots that are not bigger than a cannon to hit below fold of the building. Dongxing finds himself into the air as a Fairy Shen. He's going to go for the cannon mode to try to lock down Leo into the zone, which is really nicely done, and actually locks out Bauda's Yaron, if I'm not mistaken, who's in that side of the mech. 9 eliminations for GG so far. It says lobby. We're going to see a V3 coming out here from LXM as it comes out here the jabbing. We're not going to have a confirmation kill yet, but yes, it looks like GG CJS finds the kill for them with Moonlight going down. LXM is still going to have to see CGS's armor swap, possibly, hopefully, in a short amount of time. I'm wondering how fast these guys can do that, because LXM has to find a chance of getting back to CGS, who is getting time to heal, which is good. But it looks like J-Team is going to be hiding the high ground here. DRG's Wu Shen looking to try to ambush against Xiaohu, who's going to have his opportunity here to go for the sky. Scatter Rush comes out. No, that's not even a Scatter. That's a mid-air F3 coming out from Xiao. But LXM lock into this semicircle. The only team that can actually work against the semicircle is going to be whoever threw that ult in the first place. But it looks like this enchant is going to deny ALL from actually living any longer. This is really unfortunate, because the enchant comes out, all the range shots come through, and that's going to be a whisk throw. That's the end of ALL into this lobby. They really were close until they went for a group res in the zone. And with the V1 Tessa enchant, that's going to be what's going to be sealing the deal, unfortunately. But with everything coming into place, I do see Xiaohu trying to have the high ground as much as possible. He's at 10 HP. Tutty goes down from CJS. GG's having a hell of a game, guys. And Bo goes down from ALL. And of course, they're going to have an ultimate cast for V3. And there it is. It's going to be an F3 to the shotgun blast Jing. LXM is rushing this down. He's waiting for a confirmation position, for that way he can try to go for a V3 for anyone that's on the ground level. But the ultimate comes out preemptive from Wu Shen. And as Wu Shen gets himself into the V3 stagger, an enchant is guaranteed guaranteed jabbing gets parried. Gonna go ahead and locking himself away. It looks like the enchant's gonna be confirmed here, right? Yes, it is. And it's gonna be a caught into the sky. Dongqing finds a kill off of Yuran. LXM catches Wu Shen, gets the final hit, and with the Flamebreaker, it's gonna be a how many kill game is that? 17 kills so far. They're still cooking right now with the F3. If it comes out for LXM to get a confirmation, but it's 18 seconds. We have 38 seconds left in the match. Jabbing for free, not yet, but it does seem that there's no ultimates ready for anybody here except for what seems to be the winning team, and that's gonna be GG. They got 18 eliminations, 19 eliminations. Dongqing is still here. Are we looking at a 20 bomb just like that? Are we looking at a 20 bomb just like that? First day, our first round for FPX here? Wow. Impeccable first game. You know, GG's like, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, that's really strong. That was a really good game for them. And this man dropping all the water, but he's like, yo, I am in this. Yo, okay, I gotta be honest though. ALL, if they didn't go for that res, I think they would have still been in the game. I think maybe because Justina still had ultimate. If they didn't have this res to come out here, man. Look how much zone there. Okay, so that's another thing, right? Like, what are you gonna do when you go from 100 HP? What are you gonna do when you go from? And he has HP J's, right? So he has like 1,000 and probably like 1150 or something total. What are you gonna do when you go from 1150 HP, right, down to like 300? He lost 800 HP total for trying to get a res, as well as with Revenge, or Bo, who were trying to res Revenge, they were trying to res Bo, but Revenge was also in the zone. They lost 800 HP because of it to try to res out their Wei Shan, who can hold the fort down. But here's the problem: Bo is gonna have to use ultimate at the end of the day, and I'm really looking at this as an analysis study. I'm not calling them out or anything. I'm just like, this is where it comes into place. Like, okay, the decision making coming forth in terms of allowing for that ultimate or allowing for that res is one thing, but when no one sees you doing it, the only problem is there is no rock hiding these guys. It's only a stick of a tree, and that tree might not even be real. You know, if you know, you know. But the thing is that the enemies have Tessa and Chance that can be thrown out within 30 meters. The radius of the circle is far more in between than 30 meters. But, at the end of the day, it's just only the first round. They did a good job with this comp, though. I'm not going to lie. Their Roman Yang victory was impeccable. Keeping the control, forcing the ultimates, and actually keeping this is where you force the ultimates, right? Where the Justina was actually able to grab double dashes to come out here. And with ALL actually forcing that, actually forcing out those ultimates from QGG from KLA. And then having to force the ultimates from 17S as well. And that was a big make or break situation that they found advantage of taking, and it works. It can honestly work. It was just at the final circle, and how much pressure was being dealt to them because of the amount of range damage, the amount of control from Temi ult, which means you can't do anything to get past. Your mobility is now locked down towards the perimeter of the circle. It's just a damage spike that you lose. Alas, let's take a look at the scores. I want to see what's going to happen here for those as well. All right, so scores. We're back. Man, in one game, 32 points. Yeah, I mean, like, that's it. Like, that's 20 kills. You get first place. You get the 1.4 multiplier. And you also pick up 4 ranking points. Like, you're stacked. It's massive. It's huge. 5-2-1 though. They lost to Roman Yang, right? And then they lost their fight outside the realm from the Boomerang Cliff fight with KLA. So they got zip kills, but 0.5 for TE for this round. JDG with a 1 kill, 4.9 for not 1 kill, but 1 points for the ranking point. 4.9 for EWG, KLA in 8th with 5 points, 6.7 for DRG, J-Team with a 7.2, 9.9 for Bauda, BBE with a 10.4, 11.8 for ALL, FPX with 13.7, and then 20. Just no one else had double digits amount of kills except for GG here. Which is interesting. I want to see the standings because this goes up against the top 18. They're running the Wu Chen Tessa comp that went through. Yeah, and amount of control and control that they got. 3-3-0. It's just providing that, man. As the Wu Chen. Oh, we're getting replays. Yeah. So like this right here, like this V3 just denies anyone from being able to do anything. No F ability, no nothing. And it actually just being able to get those final kills. I just want to see the standings, but I appreciate that CJS actually gets the MVP as a Tessa. Is this the first MVP? Yes, it is, because it's the first day playing. They had to detach the whole time, or rather until the very end. I'm not sure if he was able to actually utilize it, but Fan coming out here for 13k damage, 26k damage as a total with the 8 eliminations and the 10k healing from just self-sustain as well as with sustain from the V1, hitting targets for that 100 heal after 3 targets hit. Shout out to the boys. I really want to see the standings though, between the top 18 players. They actually don't have standings for that. So with that, we're gonna switch over to the second round and getting through. But like I mentioned, make sure you guys take a look and watching the team of the casters coming out here for these days for bi-weekly finals as well as for the days in between. All right, so here we go. Starting off the game 2. I'm hoping to see the round selection pick pool to actually be pretty substantial. Of course, it is to note that we're gonna be in Holoroth Dusk. Not Dusk. We're gonna be in Holoroth Cloudy. Sand Siphon off the rip, as it should. 5-2-1 ran Sand Siphon with the intention of using their hero points, and they used their hero points, or they had the target ban of +1s for using said hero points, and there it is, a full set of the Sand Siphons. And let's see what round selection 2 looks like, because if they're running AOT after this, that makes sense, or rather the Viper Wu Tessa. Yo, FPX is gonna run it. They're gonna be running the 2-pointer cost if they're gonna be locking it in with the Kurumi instead of using the Ziping Ying. TE is going to be rocking the Viper and Tessa. We're going to see Cannonball from KLA confirmed, and then we're going to see another Cannonball from JDG as a result. Yes. Xiaohu is going to force them to actually increase their point cost to 1. Now it looks like by choosing said hero. Actually, if I'm looking at this correctly, are they expending 2 points for just a single hero pick? Hold on a second. Yeah. I think I saw the calculation wrong for 5-2-1 last time, because I saw Kurumi in the vicinity, but we'll have to see about that. J Team rocking it as well for the Viper Wuchen Tessa for the AOT, and then we're gonna see actually having a DRG with the Cannonball comp and another Cannonball comp to be confirmed between both EWG as well as BB. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, that confirms the picks, and then we're actually going to see no bans for the Cannonball comp for these. It's funny because we're seeing these Sand Siphon comps, but the Cannonball comps are being chosen as a response to it. And after that, I mean, the hero points run out, or rather they start accumulating, and then they have to probably switch out one person to another. I mean, that's why we saw ALL rock the Justina. They have to run the Cannonball comp. They'll run it. That's not a problem. It's just, shoot, man. Like, make me earn for it, man. The 8 games, when it comes to the grand finals and the bi-weekly finals, man, the 8 games that it's going to be concluded where the first 3 games have 0 hero points to be allocated, which means that you can't run a comp that's already been predisposed, or rather a character that's been predisposed from that choice. You can see how the Ziping Ying was being selected between the two. That's really a strong pick. We get no ability or skills. Oh, man, come on, dude. That's all right, though. I think they were switching back and forth between their skills, and that's why they're trying to see about it, but it's all right. We are going to see the spawns coming in here. BBE actually way out into the mid-top region, but that's okay. JDG over to the Plume Castle and having TE over by the Pinnacle Town. City of Tong is going to have DRG and EWG spawning nearby with 5-2-1 at the Cinnabar Valley. J-Team at the Moonfall Pass. And then mid-top spawn, I think that's KLA right there as well. So this is actually going to be a way for them to actually engage upon BBE. GG, though, over by the Yushan Ruins. They're going to be looking in towards the Firefly Cave room and just being able to get as much rage earned in the beginning as possible. And then with that, FPX over to the Altar Tranquility, most likely. But with this spawns, I am curious to see these skills, because sometimes people can run something that's completely different. I'm going to take a swig of water real quick while we start this on. And into the fights. For round 2, DRG up with the rip. Trying to get out of there. EWG in the same boat. And then they're going to pick up some Soul Jade selections and have basic gear so far. Boy, I think EWG, they're trying to rush towards the Soul Altar in the western end where the dungeon is. While CXZ actually gets caught to this grapple, we're going to see Pammy try to go for a bow shot. He's trying to confirm to the backliner and then find the purple weapon from the dual blades. And then with the F2 being readily available for CXZ, We're gonna get surprised. We're gonna get surprised by picks of the skills when the time comes. So, with that being said, CXZ is gonna see this chance, and that's a Moonbane charm, double down from DRG and FPX. No one from those two teams are here though, so they're gonna be using that pretty fast. We're gonna see CXZ actually finds his chance for a parry. Not gonna happen. The F2 gets recast. It groups up both enemies from 5-2-1 there though. Pampy finds his chance against QGG. QGG avoids the R&B coming out from the spear. Parry is missed opportunity. The stanchion comes out, and I think CXC is going to get a kill confirmation against Pampy. Pampy goes down. KLA is going to be rushing this down against the other two between Unique. Pampy might be looking for a spawn here soonish, but I'm sure they're buying a Moonbane now. Unique finds his chance against KLA's 17S with those R&Bs, and that delayed 1-2-3 is not going to work in his favor. And a weapon swap comes out here. A backliner rushing to the scene. The F2 doesn't catch Unique, but a Unique goes to try to catch 17S off of that grapple. A midair weapon swap to try to confirm a blue focus in midair, but Unique finds this chance against a Yodohime. He sees his teammate go down. Yin is going to look to try to chase down Unique. Unique finds his F1. He's going to throw a whisk. He missed it. And I think he's looking to try to find an armor swap. He does get one, actually. And as CXS is here, he can't solo, Unique can't solo CXS because, as much as it comes out of here, the F2 comes out, the recast is dodged. But look, 17S is looking to flank here. Unique is going to be locked through here, and CXZ is going to go ahead and see his chance. Oh, my goodness. You know what? He's holding his ground, though. I got give him some of that dap. He's holding his ground of trying to hold that through, but it's not going to be the case scenario, man. It's going to be okay, though. They have a life still. Moonlight over to the northeast of the city of Tong. We're going to see DRG Wushen 98 look towards Moonlight and seeing whether he's going to have a chance of escaping here, but he's losing a lot of blood. Of course, Wushen finds a chance of holding his fans as much as possible. XG is going to be coming out from EWG. A Moonbane coming in from DRG, though, is massive. And while Moonlight has a chance of getting rezzed here, every one of these teammates could actually look to try to stick out of the Moonbane, and they're sticking in there. Oh my goodness, they're really looking to try to get griefed. They're really looking to try to get caught with the Moonbane because EWG 14 is running out of there, and he's gonna get caught to the Moonbane right there into the corner. So close. But with it, Wushin looking for the bow shot to try to confirm the kill, but the armor swap on the fly is exactly what you'll expect to see from your teammates. But guess who's invading this? J-Team. J-Team was close enough to see this Moonbane to actually go ahead and be in a third-party position to find anyone who's low. There's the ambush. You're gonna see J-Team go for the V1 enchant. This was the class act ambush to come out here. The F3 is confirmed here. Enchant to be denied from the teleport, though. With everything coming out from XLY, he's going to try to deform EG. What's this guy's name? XG? Yeah, XG going to be coming out here for that point. And then with that, I think this is going to be a chance for DRG to actually come back into a third-party position. Big chances for Wushin to have this ultimate. JT wasn't able to conclude this fight as fast as they were looking for. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's unfortunate. That's completely unfortunate. What's even more unfortunate? The fact that the Moonbane just ended right at that point. Hold on. Yeah, it just ended there too. Brosif. Camaraderie, please. That's unfortunate for that's really unfortunate for J-Team there. To the point where I'm like, there was nothing to be able to do anything. That's just pure RNG at that point. And J-Team League goes down. I mean, DRG's Moonbane, early game Moonbane was huge when they purchased it. And FPX bought one as well, but DRG was able to use theirs. They're concisely put. Once they were looking at the escaping, foes, I mean, they were like, all right, cool, we're going to res Moonlight and then be good to go. And then they went to go third party, and they did it successfully. J-Team, unfortunately, got, eliminated there like that. That's tough. Anyways, going to go to Meta. We're going to see Bo with a fan. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's nothing really coming out here. I know there's like, oh, wait, well, what about it? I mean, Takeda fan, OP. And for anyone who knows, right? If you don't know, now you know. Like Don Ching right here, he has fan too. Right? He's got F1 preemptive. The Forbidden Seal, though, denies any ultimate. The Don Ching didn't have ultimate anyways. And FPX bought that Moonbane early on when we were watching that fight in Medtab. And this is going to be a chance for them to actually lock down Baoda's Jing. And away from this point, Peak finds himself to get parried. R&B is checked, and that's going to be Peak's ultimate. And as a result, Bauda actually goes down for their first lives, if I'm not mistaken. Yaron runs away. He's got V2, but he should be using this. He does have Focus Slide, though. He drops his J to confirm the Focus Slide. Wait. Oh, he wants to just keep both Focus Slide as a result. Okay, I'm okay with that. Because he still has a life. As a result, these guys are going to be swapping out Jades. He really wanted the focus slide to keep it on his body. Like, he denied every single one of those. So, like, I mentioned this in day one, but the teams would drop their Jades, or even in solos, they drop their Jades to confirm the Jade they want primarily. Like, if it's a really strong Jade, you keep half the Jades that are in your inventory. I'm not sure what happens when you have 5 Jades. I think it should be 2 still. So you should drop 3 Jades to hold the 2 that you want the most. Bo, though, in ALL as a whole, these guys have 2 eliminations. They aren't able to confirm the third, but they're going to be going back. 17S is actually in soul form as a result from what we're seeing here. I'm not sure as to who their fight is. They're over by the southwestern region of Medtab region. Southeastern region, I should say. I can't remember the name of that region, so I'm going to have to double check that, as my memory is serving very little purpose when it comes to Holoroth map locations. Still to the, like Camel's Hump, Do you know where Camel's Hump is? Yeah, it's in the northwest. But, what's the other area right next to Camel's Hump that's not Camel's Hump? There we go. That's the spot. Now, Reishi actually going to have a chance here for their team to not have any eliminations, but they do have the gear. Big time chance for Yodohime for Yodohime changes to be happening in the future. I'm not sure what's going to happen to her, to be honest. The conversion of skills and ultimates is one thing, but her V3 is so substantial to being used rather than the V1 or V2, to the point where I'm like, okay, V3 has to be in part with every single one of the kits. Maybe combine V1, V2 scaling, where the healing and the armor is substantially more better than the V3, right? Like, you can use 3 slashes, or you can use, 3 slashes that do the damage that they do, and then, just extra slashes. It's really all about the control, though, in trios when it comes down to those extra hit staggers and the hit confirmations. But CGS finds his chance here. A camaraderie effort here to try to deny this enchant, or if this stun. But I think Khan goes ahead, picks the Soul Bloom immediately, and finds his lockdown towards CGS. Nice parry. Wow, this man got smacked over to Narnia over there. He didn't expect. I don't think Han was realizing that was going to happen. And an Aurora Burst from GG 330 is actually going to put them in a bad spot to look for resets. Big ups from 330 dropping in within the Aurora Burst. And I think LXM going to try to dodge out here while Han was trying to hunt. It looks like 330 is going to be the frontliner here. Big upset for TE to try to find their chances of finding an extra elimination there. Parry was clean from Han. Nice silence. But he doesn't have ultimate, so it kind of comes out to depend towards him. He doesn't have anything here, but except for the F1, which is preemptive. And 330 looks to try to go for Aurora Burst again, and then we're going to see an army coming out here. This ultimate from LXM was crucial, and of course Han is actually going to reverse this with the Pole Sword action, and CGS has 60% of ultimate. You're going to see himself try to charge up an LMB. No parry opportunity here. There's the uppercut, the focus slide. Remember what I said about the focus slide? The most crucial aspect of the focus slide is to keep that on hand no matter the cost. In trios, that's just strong control. And that fight actually switched up from TE. The moment that... We're gonna back it up. So, TE had this dead to rights, right? They locked down LXM. They didn't focus down CGS, but that Pole Sword strike right here for that Scare Rush, I think that's what griefed completely. I don't think a blue focus there would have been crucial. I think a stagger of a neutral would have been good, because then Han could have gotten that silence afterwards. But he didn't expect that push to happen. And because of that, 330 finds an opportunity of dropping in here with an Aurora Burst. You can see him actually rising out here from the corner as the Scare Rush comes out. And then he's actually he looks towards it and grabs 2 enemies from TE. And LYD panics to tell Leo probably to get the heck out of there, and LXM gets a res, gets time to reset. You can see Han actually trying to rush into the high ground and try to lock it down, but 330 denies a grapple, forcing Han and their team to retreat into Beast Pen. LXM is healing up. He's like, yo, I am clean, bro. CGS has a preemptive F1, right? The parry comes out, the silence. Unnecessary. Very much so unnecessary. We know CGS doesn't have ultimate here, and TE Han finds his chance to actually find a silence instead of going for a full parry. It might have worked against him in his favor. He should have went for the gold focus attack, because the purple Pole Sword does 1,000 damage. CGS would have been able to take a lot of hits where he's not looking for. F1 doesn't negate parries. Like, you don't grab the person's weapon when you're doing F1. And as a result, LXM, he doesn't have armor, but he is going to be able to engage into this with that F1. It pushes LYD to force the ultimate. We're going to see Leo actually get caught out here from CGS, and CGS gets caught to this enchant, but that ultimate right there, the LXM is now going to be caught to the enchant. It doesn't really matter. You can see LYD. Look at his Pole Sword action from LYD, right? CGS is focusing onto Leo, but LYD in the back line really getting focused out here against from the Tianhai or from LXM from that push, which forces Han to be left out behind. And 330 finds Han as a final kill estimation, and GG, like, it all came down to that pole sword strike, I think, honestly. TBH, it really came down to that pole sword strike from the tree line and the Wu-Chen portal. But the Wu-Chen portal kind of necessary, just because LYD was in a bad spot anyways. But GG wins that fight. I mean, they don't lose anything from that. They actually gain so much from it, even with just 2 eliminations. The portal, though, is going to be entered. We're going to see ALL, BBE, JDG, Fun Plus Phoenix, and BBE's Ivan goes for this tuna proc, and I don't think he's going to have time to drop it for a teammate, of course, because 15 seconds goes by in the blink of an eye. Ivan gets caught to the midair grapple. He says F2. He's not throwing it just yet. He does have the chance to avoid that soul slash, though. Very big major. Assassin's Lunge now revealed, and Ben uses his F2 after seeing that soul slash to focus onto Revenge, who is at 1 HP. Midair ultimate to get himself caught out here. That slash is going to go ahead and get iframe dodge for the second, and the third one he just gets avoided, and Revenge is now in a position of no more sedate soul to be available for the V2 Sipping Ying ult. Reishi trying to lock down Revenge here, who is just going to keep ringing around these pillars and keeping the F1 to keep him sustained. This is unfortunate for BPE here. Fat Metal about to leave ultimate due to the damage being dealt to him. AL's lane, though, finds a wisp, tries to go ahead and throws it. Anticipates Ben in that position, and he catches Ben for a couple of seconds. The F1 is hidden behind the rocks. Let's take a look. He's going to throw a blue focus here now. Bo, though, finds himself to see about playing the game of chicken with his F1. Roishishi finds himself in the LMB position after that F1, but denies his chance of actually doing so because he knows he's not going to have a fun time. He doesn't have a fun time anyways. And Bo goes to the RMBs, plinking it back and forth. The cab bloom is now revealed from Ben, and this is going to be a chance for them to see that parry. Oh, the auto aim is going to deny Ben from actually being able to lock through for Bo, and Lane sees Revenge to get focused on. Oh. Yo, Bo's like, cool. I want to watch that before the end of the fight. What do you kill him with? What? Huh? I'm confused. Can you imagine the F2 got the F1 reset? Dude, that ability would be so broken. Oh, man. But Ben actually catches Revenge into that swing, and I think that F2 comes out to clutch, but I don't think Ben's going to have enough time to live here. Bo's looking for resetting here in the middle of the fights. He's got F1, and anything coming out here is just neutral attacks. Yeah, Revenge is like, that was kind of funny, but we won. Gold Staff and the gold purple pair of nunnies, and the buff of choice is going to be Vermilions, most likely. 521 finds a Draco Storm, maybe from a Morris Blessing. I don't know if they entered a Romy Yang. JDG spawning in here into the Plume Castle. Of course, we are going to see Plume Castle to be this mainline spawn. I'm really curious to see where Tutty kind of works off of this, because the Hong Sword into the F2 uppercut is it's pretty prevalent for these choices for the Yoda humans to run, if they can get a Hong Sword of this rarity, because for the damage for ultimate, they don't have to switch to a ranged weapon if they don't have to. That's of higher quality. But FPX is winning their Romy aim. They got 6 eliminations into this round so far. They're cooking with their Jades, and they're going to be able to buy some more and being able to convert to their teammates. And then Dongchen going to be their heavy catalyst of being able to look through. I'm not sure if that's a repair roll or if that's a soul release. If it's a soul release, it's pain. TE, though, they find LYD. Somehow LYD was farming up gold, but this is the final nail in the coffin between GG and TE. Like, the fact that it happened like this puts GG in the position of being able to find the last teammate. And that's going to be the 3rd elimination because it said teammate being eliminated. Now, over towards the northeastern side of the Plume Castle, we are going to see Tutty and JDG as a whole looking over to the ALL region. I know ALL is just hunting around, and these guys are still at Romy Yang depletion. They have 2.5 minutes to find somebody to fight. They have to be careful, though, because they are running Cannonball. Kiki still needs to drop that beacon preemptive for somebody, but that Cannonball comp really only goes to work until the Shadow 3 closes. And then you're going to be able to find those opportunities. Oh, my goodness. Wait. Huh? Hey. Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Preemptive F1. Yeah, that jabbing gets denied though. He picks up the gold staff. Wait, did he pick up the gold staff? No, he already has the gold staff, yeah. So he's gonna drop that gold purple staff from his hands. Dongchen picks it back up and goes for another hit. Lane is really low. Dongchen finds the pitter patters, is not gonna catch Zhao Hu in time to stop the V2 ultimate, and that, my friends, is where it gets a little bit dangerous. Bo has ultimate for 2 more dashes. We're gonna rush right towards Water. Water can get F3'd right here to save his life, but we're gonna see Dongchen actually get the F3 effect instead, who is going to be pushing out Revenge, and we're going to have an F1 to be available for this hit. Dongchen probably going to go ahead and use his last Furin Blast to try to confirm against Revenge. A nice jabbing, but the F1 in midair is going to actually be throwing off of Revenge. If he doesn't tell his teammate, Bo could have himself griefed. Lane is down, though. Lane actually got 2v1 as a result of this push against Dongqing. Dongqing now going to have his team with him, and of course, he's going to extend Dongqing with his RMBs, but then there's a Dreadful Whale, and they're jabbing for free. It looks like Bo's going down. ALL loses all their teammates as a result. They're going to be going for a res, though, because the Vermilion Birds might go into their lifespan. A minute 30 for JDG. Ben finds that uppercut after the F ability. Actually, wait. F2. Yeah, F2 neutral. Ben want immediate smack into it. Afterwards, JDG gets caught out for the gold focus. The second one to hit it wins the fight. It's a natural fight. It's a natural fighting game. Tactic. The second person to use this is gonna lose. But Roy Shishi finds himself caught out here with those extra V3 slashes. I think BBE loses Roy Shishi because of the Roaming depletion as well. Yes, and Ben is actually going to try to escape this if he can. He still has Roaming depletion. So we're in a position where we're seeing BBE look for an elimination for themselves. KLA's QGG, though, finds J-Team Lee. Oh, little visual bug there. Don't worry about it. Lee's going to actually find himself find the Soul Bloom for himself, chasing out KLA. It is really interesting, because nice neck crack, by the way. Lee has V1 F3 as well. We saw this previously. I'm not sure how it's gonna work here. Nice chance for that smack though from Kiki against QGG. I mean, it's just like I said, like you have to depend on your Tessa like big time. You have to depend on your Tessa to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna really hope that you get the enchant so that way I can get this gold ultimate cast off. XLY though, waiting it out. I'm not sure if he sees his enemy teammate in the distance. KLA 17S is still safe, man. No way, Jose. Well, I guess holding the wall is the play, Ray Shishi, BBE, or ALL are probably going to be chasing out Ray Shishi here. Big time. Yeah, big time. I don't know what's going to happen here because Ray Shishi is actually, he's passing by a roaming Yang that I think he should have taken, even to the extent of being chased out here. But at the same time, he's not going to be able to get a Morris Blessing by himself. No one's going to allow that because they're going to be picking it up in trios. Like here, GG is actually at a Morris Blessing right now. They use their ultimates to cast this out. I'm not sure what buff this is inside of this box. It could be an ultimate reset buff. I would really like to see the map, but it's not going to happen here. CGS, though, is chasing this out. Unique actually finds the counter ultimate to actually pick this up, and that's a Mystic Might. That's actually pretty prevalent here to actually catch these enemies. Now, let's take a look and see what 521 is going to offer into chasing 12 grapples into Unique's inventory. Got to be conserving those very shortly here. He's got 10 left, 9 after this one. He's trying to find out whether or not JGG is easily ambushable. Just easily ambushed. Let's take a look at the grapples. LXM finds lockdown potential ballista shots, denying this pressure. Here is the ultimate to put the prawn on. And, of course, we're going to see LXM get eliminated by Yaron, who comes out here for the Scorch. And actually, the bow shots coming up from the burst arrow. Unique using the ultimate there. Was it a good temporary relief? Yeah, 100%. But the thing is that you deny energy for an enemy that can actually just pass through your ultimate. It's not going to really do much here because Temis can do that. But CGS gets caught out here from Pampy. Eliminations on deck. This is the first kill for 521 into his lobby. Draco Storm for FBX. While 521 has a Mystic Might, GG is in a bad spot. We saw them get the 3 eliminations against TE earlier into the Imperial Village. Actually, they're still in Imperial Village. They're looting around the area that they've already been in through Twicefold. But they're actually at 1 teammate left. Bowda now being chased out here by JDG. 9 eliminations for FPX here. Where are they? 6 eliminations for ALL, though, and a lot of 3s and 1s and 2s, but 1-4 from J-Team in terms of kill values. Of course, Ballista is going to be always a grief moment. This is over by the Southwestern Barracks, which is north of the city of Tang a fair bit. This is a position where, the Ballista cannot reach, so they should drop from there and then activate an ultimate. There it is. You're going to see from Team Bowda's Yaron. I think Yaron's going to try to push them back as much as possible, but Yaron is down. Unfortunate. JDG picks up the elimination, number 4. Of course, Pi Squared looking to try to distance out. We could see a chance for Tutty to actually put himself in the spot. I'm really anticipating Tutty to, get the F2 uppercut with the staff to keep the control off of Peak. If he can, that would be massive because Peak can get iframes if he has one chance to do so with an F ability, which extends his fight. Nice burst arrow with a scatter shot. We can see that coming out. Shadow Step is massive. I think that's going to be it. Uppercut isn't confirmed, though. Due to the holding blue, he caught it. And a Aurora Burst from Peak is going to deny any range damage. That jabbing still reaches, though. That's incredible. And F1's available. He gets it. He gets mitigation. He gets caught into his neutral attacks from the bows and the LMBs. And Tutty gets the elimination with the team. Third party coming in, baby. Level 3 ultimate. And it looks like Tutty's like, whoa. Hold on. I got F2 here. Pushes it into place. He tries to teleport the enchant, or he just tried to throw the people off because Kiki gets eliminated anyways. And another enchant here from Tutty, or from XOY, tries to go for it, does not confirm it, but he gets himself that soul. He's taken away second by the second. And that's going to be a Wu Chen ultimate for XOY from Zem. Zem is actually really low as a result. They're trying to go for the res here. Jabbing is still revealed, and that's going to be a Cav Bloom to hit one target. Looking for the number 2. PP is going to be looking to get himself into a parry position. And that's going to be it. It was clean from J-Team, man. Really clean coming out from J-Team. They found that level. They found the 3-man ultimate for the enchants after getting the elimination, but they were grouping up. They didn't hear nothing from J-Team. I feel kind of it feels bad, but Team Bowda, they were really locked into chasing out they were really locked in and chasing out JDG's not JDG, but can't remember his name. Why can't I remember his name? It was not Pi Squared. No, Pi Squared got eliminated from Peak. Yeah, from Peak. And I mean, that's kind of the curse of grouping up against Tessa. I mean, they wouldn't have known, right? Like, that's the beauty of Tessa. You can cast her ultimate 30 meters away. So with that being said, take full advantage of that. Take what you can. It's crazy that this is only the second round today, and we're at an hour and a half. A little bit of a chance. But XOY gonna drop these Jades into the tent so that way no one can kind of like sense it over here. This is the edge of the zone. ALL is actually over by the nearby point, but replay into the first Romy Yang BBE versus what seems to be ALL. Iben has himself the F2. Wait, this is the fight we already saw. Okay, so we're just gonna get a cut shot compilation of it. Okay, yeah. Because honestly speaking, this is the other one. Okay, this is the other Romy. Okay, Fun Plus Phoenix up against what seems to be JDG actually. So this is tough because Don Chin is at a low enough point where you think, yeah, one hit from the Weishan's enough, but then the V2 Kurumi, bro. Okay, yeah, this comp does go hard with the Kurumi for the sustain here, but Kiki, Kiki, for instance, is like, yeah, I'm dealing all amount of damage with my ultimate. Dual ring coming out from Don Shin, though. What a nice, not a nice surprise for JDG, but very much so for the participation of, getting the kill there with that. White Tiger's prowess buff, I think, is in effect. No, this is just the shadow. This is just the dust storm for them to get the increased grapple distance. And with that, a Morris Blessing actually spawning in here. Pretty good. Pretty good. They have the confirmation for the Jays. I really need to make that spreadsheet, man. After this, for this week, we're making that. 4 days out of the week, though, for NBPL. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I mean, nice bow shots. Yeah, Dongqing, though, going to have his chance here. A Kurumi Parasol to deny any sort of range shots that aren't cannon-based or pistol-based. But burst arrow, like everything in that. Like, muskets cannot hit it, too, either. Gold Honk Sword. Yikers. Wait, who's getting the Honk Sword? Did Water take it? Yeah, he got it. Okay. All right, yeah, it's good. Because he can do quick RB actions off of Wisps. Or even if he does get the LMB, uppercut, grapple bump into an extension. he can just control somebody if it comes down to it. It's a really small opportunity here. But we are going to have the storm effect, I think. The Moonbane's actually blocking off Cinnabar Valley's main entry point. So EWG revealing the Merciless Havoc for the team. It's on a purple staff, and he's going to have, they have good chances of actually backing off here. But 17S and over to the northern end of the Cinnabar Valley, we're actually going to see KLA holding the high ground, trying to see about it. They got blue armor all across the board. QGD does not have ult, neither does CXZ. Farming Rage is what their main primary decision is going to do. What are you doing to the shop? What are you buying? What the? All right. Well, Gold Spear. I think he found a Jade that he was like, yo, I can use this Jade now. And that's why he switched his weapon back. Maybe he's looking for a crafting hammer for his staff. Ooh. Yeah. Maybe a jabbing, actually. Could be a jabbing coming off of this end. Yeah, he's going to drop that purple Jade for his teammate. Could be a tuna. Yeah, it's tuna. For the majority of that. Good reason. Right? It is tuna, right? Yeah, it's tuna. He's got the blue glow, the blue glow around him. Yeah, this is going to be a Moonfall pass. Who's going to range out? Who's going to range out? Now, let's talk about the comps into this final circle. I think 1 point to be made for the Sand Siphon here with the Kurumi over the Zipping Ying, definitely, as we saw in the Romy Yang, is that no matter what, right? You're always you can nitpick the V2 for the Zipping Ying, considering that, oh yeah, the knockback confirms blue focuses. Of course, it also gives an opportunity for reinsurance policy for your team. Of course, but the thing is that Kurumi does one thing better than anything, and that's cleansing. And she cleanses with the V3. No one's going to run F1 in trios. Everyone's going to be running F3, which is also another benefit because she runs F3, damage mitigation for 99% for 4 seconds. Like, come on, dog. That's going to be too good to be true. And then on top of that, if she cleanses the Kurumi Circle. The Kurumi Circle cleansing can also be reapplied in a different spot when she's in a different spot away from the circle itself, because she can recast into that spot and be in gold focus, mind you, with that when that one change happens. So if they really want that comp to not make its rounds, a counter comp is just being able to burst down with the Viper and just denying it with the V3 and F3. But they have to be careful. Like I mentioned, a Tessa or a Tumulch can just deny every single one of those points of pressure where it just pushes her in to not be able to do anything. And because Temi and Takeda can preemptive ult and push back even through a V1 stun or a V3, or not through a V3, but through a V1, a V3 would deny that. It's all about positioning down the Romy Yang, because all he needs to do is just hide behind the corner. And I'm talking about Takeda. Behind a pillar, throw the V3, the Fear and Blast, which stops any sort of push against Kurumi, who, if Kurumi finds her chance of actually finding a rotation out, she would actually get caught out. And then all of a sudden, Temi ults, and then they're safe. So, there's a lot of counterplay between each of the other comps. Like, for instance, right here, Shadow 3 or Shadow 5, this is where the Cannonball comp can actually make its works around into the overworld now, right? Sand Siphon can only do so much when it comes down to this position now, because the amount of poke that can come through, will it force an ultimate? Maybe not. But it's a very, very important thing to note that if they do force a Kurumi ultimate due to the amount of pressure, that the whole entirety of enemies around can see that circle and know that Kurumi has no more ultimate. It's a really bright, it's a light bulb, essentially. Like, oh, hey, look, guys, it's on. It's about to be time to kill this off, and it doesn't happen. But we'll see. Someone has an armor pierce. Excuse me? I have to double check that. I don't know if 521 wants to hold this position, though. They're really in a spot where they can easily get cannon. And as I say that, J Team is actually in the same type of predicament. They're inside this watchtower. Yeah, F3, of course, but a cannon can just eat through that. Yeah, even if the warrior burst, it's still going to hit them at the rooftop. Lee's going to have to really reposition this V1 ultimate to be God tier. CXZ, though, uses his F2 to deny a light projectile, such as the crossbow bolts, the arrows, as well as with muskets, pistols of the nature. As long as the hit ticks hit on the same frame. And then on top of that, cannons, kind of, to the extent. Now, Zhangqing gets knocked right into this Merciless Havoc. Oh, man. See, this is that ultimate, right? The light bulb. And it also has a sand circle. And look at the denial coming in from this variation. Come on, no, dog. Come on. That's dirty. That's dirty. And Dongqing ain't going to have enough time to really get his armor back as much as it comes through. But then it looks like they deny the J team position and having as much pressure as they were kind of not hoping for in the first place. They have ultimate for Takeda Furin. GG finds the HP bar to be deducted from the enchant. That's actually unfortunate because now the Dongqing has no more issues of enchant. Water does go down. And as a result, I think we could see 9 to try to ring right about now. Yeah. Okay, well, J-Team Lee finds the elimination. CXZ goes down from these cannons and from the fairy Shens. EWG outside of the phone. Dial home, 911. It's an emergency. He's got a gold cannon ready to go for hitting targets for 800 damage. Yeah, Pambi gets hit right there in the face. He switches over. He had a Flamebringer, that's why he had a cold weapon. But KLA does not get caught in the Merciless Havoc. This ultimate cast is from 521 as a result from Water actually getting possibly res. KLA is just, what the heck is that, man? Yo, are they really going to get away with that position like that, dude? That's crazy. We're going to have the DRG actually looking to try to lock down 521. Yin looks for the parry against Wushin, but it looks for the Dreadful Will escape pattern. Dongqing finds elimination off of Jing from FPX to Bauda. And now it looks like Wushin is going to be in a weird spot where the Flamemaker is going to work against a Revenge who's going to lock him out, going to kill him out. FPX Water finds a Aurora Burst, and there's the silence to actually get pushed back, but it looks like no ultimate to be cast just until now because of the silence duration of Aurora Burst. Now Wushin gets his cast off. He's looking to try to find a target that's not inside of the Kurumi circle, and he can't. So he's going to have to back off and reposition with his team. But it looks like DRG WFC is going to be his next opponent. I'm not sure if or if the enemy opponent to look for. And Wushin finds his ultimate there. He's going to get into cannon mode if he can, but a lot of this pressure coming up from enemy Fairy Shens. There it is. Wushin 98 going to find the shots. He's going to be locking away KLA's QGG from it. If he can, to demech him to get a confirmed cannon shot. Let's take a look at the scene because it looks like Dongqing is trying to get as much cannons away as possible. An ultimate coming from XG coming in from this team. From EWG is still in the game, holding it down. 12 eliminations total for FPX. EWG, though, catches 2 eliminations here into the final points, and they're at probably eliminations number 8 or 9. We're going to have to see. And it looks like another elimination from Dongqing against S17S from KLA. Zhao eliminates 9 from EWG. Dongqing finds himself into the sky, finds EWG 14. Obviously, he's trying to chase him out. The jabbing comes out here. Dongqing has himself to really hold the fort down. You know what's crazy about this, right? 14 eliminations, and they still have probably like 3 enemies to actually go up against. And there's going to be elimination number 15. Going to be looking towards EWG 14, who does have ultimate to come out here. The cast from the V2 from Zhao is going to be an impeccable one. And considering that EWG 14 is only limited to one direction, a jabbing kill to finish off Moonlight before EWG 14 finds that kill. And into the zone, they're hunting down 14, and he's not going to have any chances out here. That's an elimination. That's a dub. And that's an MVP. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it going. You know, it's really cool that Funplex Phoenix are actually having a pop-off game like this. I mean, they've had a wishy-washy first day. I will be honest. But this is a good turnaround for them. And in terms of this aspect, let's take a look and see about the scores as well as everything else. All right, scores are back. BBE with 1 point. Bado with 2.1, 521 with 2.7, 3.5 for GG there. TE with 4, JDG with 6, 6.7 for KLA, J-Team with 9.3, 10.6 for ALL, 11.1 for DRG. Excuse me, DRG is going to have 3rd place there. EWG with 13.7 and 26.4 for FPX, though. I mean, like, you know, GG got a massive game the first game. With that 32-point game. But like the crazy thing is that look, like anyone can have a bad game, you know, positions and everything. GG actually had they fought out TE. Funnily enough though, actually, let's talk about this. GG was fighting out TE, right? And they finished them off with LYD's final hurrah, but they still went below them with a 0.5 because TE got eliminations early on. So I mean, it's pretty substantial, but not really too substantial, but it is something for them to, you know, for the point values as a comparison considering who they eliminated. But the more important part about this is this. They have that 32-point game to piggyback off of for today that allows for them to have that consistency of a high point value game that most other teams can take a whole day of reaching. Sometimes that's the case scenario. Sometimes that's all you need to keep yourself into the top 12 bracket for the finals. But we'll see how this looks to stand up against everyone else after round 2, because they didn't give us standings for the last round because they're like, okay, hold on a second, we need more rounds to value this off of. Right, you can look at the damage here from Dongqing for the 7 kills with the 23k damage. but 28k damage from that 28k healing. I thought it was damage coming in from Xiaohu, and actually healing from FPX. Excuse me, healing. Excuse me, 19k healing, 19.8k healing. No, you get the wrong guy. There's no way, unless he has group heal, right? And advanced heal. He's keeping his team alive, but you know. All right. Well, day one performance for these teams is how it's stated. ALL was with 22.4 today. Pretty good. EWG with 18.6. JT with 16.5. 11.4 for BBE and 17. And then 18th has TE at 4.5 after 2 games. Which is kind of crazy because I think they have they only have 0.5 for their first game. Yeah. So a lot to make up for. It's not the end of the world, like I said. Like GG is a perfect example, right? A game can end up working in their favor, big time. But we still have to see about where it ends up in the middle of the bracket for 2 games so far. WBG is actually not participating today, but GG, look at this, 35.5, 11th place position. Like they already passed through teams' whole day values by doing that. To the extent where, JDGs, this is their second day, and they got 7 kills, 7 points, you should say, 36.9 and 10th. And then Bauda and 521, this is their second day. 521 had a massive game for the first day with 53.4 points. 2.7, though, after 2 games here. And Bauda with a 12-point game into this point. Their deficit is around 6.4 so far. But we should see where it stands for the bottom, a top 6 for the bracket, which is going to be where we see DRG with 63.1, KLA with 68.8, 40.1 for 73.6. These are the teams that are participating today who have already played for day 1 and are still playing for day 2. But you can see XEG, Wolves, OUG, they still have the first place position even after day 1 is over for them, and they have that values because of their immaculate game sense to actually push through. So for that, we're gonna go into round 3 and then hope to see where that kind of ends out here for the first part. Like I have it done, how I have it done before. We break the parts between rounds 1 through 3 through 4 through 6 to subsequently have 2 separate sections. But round 2 is gonna end here. We're gonna go right into round 3 and look at the hero point round selection. All right, we're back for round 3, game 3. Our gamers are going to be going to Colorado Sunny for round 3, and then afterwards we're going back to everyone's favorite map, Morris Isle. Now, of course, stay hydrated, gamers. First round selection going to happen here. I'm seeing Sandsight from FPX. I'm seeing Sandsight from JDG. I'm seeing it from KLA and TE. The only difference is I see only one Kurumi. That means that Kurumi is still on the board. If the other teams want to increase their chances of survival in terms of hero points usage, they can use Kurumi, and they only lose 2 points because of the +1 round, hero increase system. So it's probably gonna happen. Snack, you better pick Kurumi, bro, because if you aren't, you're grieving your team's points, bro. He's gotta have to pick her. Don't you dare. He locked in zipping. I'm honestly okay with it. We're gonna have to see how it ends up though, because there's gonna be an AOT comp between both J Team and DRG. EWG still selecting. 20 seconds. I didn't know they had more time than Souls, man. Dang. Well, let's see what they're choosing, because EWG, you're holding everyone up. The line's back up, bro. Yo, choose her. Who? This girl? Yeah, that girl. Okay, yeah, they're gonna run it. They're gonna ban. It's gonna force the ban for round 3 to not pick this comp. So what's it gonna be? Cannonball comp for round 3 gamers for round 3 selection? Bauda is actually locking in the OT. They're gonna burn the points as well. 5-2-1 rocking into. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, because they know that they're not gonna have to consume points by the time that they end up choosing them for the second time, if they haven't chosen them already. But ALL is gonna burn their points too. This is really interesting too. Okay, so only 2 cannonballs between 5-2-1 and GG here. Interesting, man. Like, this is where it's like, maybe you can expend points, but it all depends on how you rotate the choice of the characters, because if you miscalculate your round pick selections on top of the hero points you just burned for choosing said characters from previous selections where you're not the first pick, then that's where you're like, oh man, I can't choose this person for the 3rd time in a row. So I had to switch out a role for that, or a character off of this. Love to see it. Can I get the character skills though, please, this time? I don't like surprises. I'm joking. I always like surprises, but surprise. I'm okay with it. One time, 2 times in a row, I'm gonna have to work with it. City of Tang though, 3-man spawn. Hello. Yo, chill. Yo, this looks like a regular range match. I'll stop. These guys are gonna be spawning in their KLA. Oh my goodness. Excuse me? Why is there 5 people right next to the Salvation podium like that? GG is like, where's everyone going? ALL over by the Serpent's Pass. They're gonna make their way towards the Yushan Ruins as a result, and no one in the med top unless you want to count the Salvation podium piece. But goodness gracious, yo, hold on. Everyone's in the Fortress of Kaviani. A slew of 5 character picks. We're gonna see an Igneous, a Pinnacle Town. No, yeah, Igneous Bound spawn possibly from BBE, but ALL's over by the Servants Pass. Fun Plus Phoenix, I believe that is. They're gonna be over. Yeah, Fun Plus Phoenix over by the Altar Tranquility. Game 3 gonna begin here. TE finds JDG in a not so great position. Is it? Whoa. Was that a Batari teleport? No, it's a Tumult. I saw a little bit of sand, and I thought that was a Matari teleport for the dust. False alarm. As you can see, another Matari out here. I'm like, oh man, Matari, let's go. Jump LMB's coming out here. Because we saw, who did we see with Matari? Was it JL? Yeah, it was JL. They chose Matari. Did not end up well for them. But we are at the C. DRG finds 2 eliminations against 5-2-1, and that's actually, over into the City of Tang. Bowda, though, over by the Fortress of Kaviani up against what seems to be J-Team. J-Team looking to pretty be snazzy to grab these kills if they can, but the F3 from the Wushed is keeping this team alive. XLY goes down from J-Team. Lee is clinking off with a horizontal longsword. Is going to confirm those hits. And, of course, an R&B, no parry opportunity, dog. Pange. F3, though, comes out to save the day, and Pete gets himself Soulful 1,000 healing. Bowda just picks up 3 eliminations just like that. And, of course, we're going to see over south of the Salvation podium, QGG finds KLA. RMB comes out. Kiki avoids it. And, of course, there's going to be a V2 ultimate. It's crazy to see the amount of comps being played here. And, of course, GGG Kiki goes down. These choice picks are really strong. But, of course, KLA's QGG picks up this Soul Bloom and, of course, gets his ultimate as a result. And he's at level 1. He still has to pick up a couple of new weapons to actually go to level 2. Over towards, though, City Tang. Wushin goes towards, try to catch out EWG 14. And, of course, the Tan Cats run target, and it's going to be the crucial one. And then a counter ultimate actually from EWG as a result. Moonbane, man. Big time. Big time Moonbanes in the early game are huge, especially when you're trying to burn them out between other teams to be engaged as an invasion and ambush. Dragon Slayer doesn't confirm anything. It's going to go for a clink. Wushin looks to the sky, looks to try to get some high ground position. Counter grapple is going to be initiated on his teammate, but Wushin does not hit anyone because of it. 14 has his pole sword action coming out here. And a chant comes out. 9 is going to be caught out. 14 is going to be 1 hit away. Death is going to do us part. And for that to be said, an F ability coming out from 9 is going to catch 2 targets, get 100 healing. And actually turns this around for the team with those fan blasts and actually committing for an R&B. With the R&B spear, there'll be more priority for it. I like that. Beautiful. Delicious. The spear throw, because like if for instance let's say WFZ had an F1, right, an R&B from the fan would have deducted the health because of the purple rarity. It would have deducted the health from WFC to grant him an F. He would have been able to get his ultimate cast off, and it just could have turned the fight around, technically, hypothetically. But spear, come on, spear R&B, Crescent Slam, that thing is too good. It's way too strong for it to be avoided on. It's one of the single focus blue focus hits that is necessary for just dishing out quick damage against your opponents. It's like the pole sword R&B. Like, that's why Justina loves it. I loved it as a V2 Justina. But Dongqing finds the V1. We're going to see an ultimate cast coming out here from Lane, who's going to be forcing out this pressure to force Dongqing and the team to push up north. A stun for 5 seconds is going to lock down. Oh, wait, no. That was no stun off of water here. Hey. Lane is actually going to be focused on here as a result. It looks like this clink is to come out. Did he actually get an F1 there? I'm curious. Oh, he did get F1. Jeez. Okay, cool. Let me see. Wow. Wait. I'm confused. Did he cancel ult? He didn't cancel all right. No, water used F1 to iframe the enchant. No, the iframe the stun and not the enchant. Okay. Really? That's actually kind of crazy. Wait a second. So let me get this straight. He F1s. I'm looking at this. I'm like, huh? So he F1s. Get this, right? I'm going to break it down to you. He F1'd through the Viper stun, through the tether of the Viper. He got enchanted, but since the animation didn't go all the way through the iframe of it, I'm confused because there's no Matari on this team. No, it's just a bug, right? Because he for like you see him he can see him in F1 state right there. Like he's in there. Like water's in there. He iframes the stun. This is a V1 stun, by the way. So it's a 5-second stun guarantee. He iframes it through. He gets caught to the enchant before it actually finishes into giving him a wisp. You can see you don't see a wisp here, do you? I don't see a wisp. And then what happens next is that he gets it again because of the enchant. Crucial, man. That's actually kind of crazy. I gotta be honest. Like the fact of the matter is that, oh man, that's tough, and that actually I think turns around the fight because of it. That's actually kind of that's actually kind of nuts. I'm kind of laid back by about that because now Lane's like, wait a second, what was happening here? Because then all of a sudden Bo is now in the position of not just being able to have anything to work with, but he's gonna have to build up rage again, and we're gonna have revenge having this ultimate ready. Dongqing can turn this fight around immediately, and look at that. Lane goes down. Wuchen Port forces this out. Oh, that's not a good Wuchen Port, but it looks like it throws him off. Anyways, hey, successful. I was scared for them that they're gonna get chased out, and it looks like they got baited out big time. But honestly speaking, crazy things coming out here from that one instance where the enchant didn't go through, or the enchant went through post iframe, but does not cause the F1 ability to be used. Insane, immaculate. You know, just straight skill issue. Straight skill issue. I'm not leaving here without Cortana type energy, man. In the meantime, though, Rish BBE actually has a full set of purple armor, and with their weaponry, they should be good to go for level 3 Takeda Ultimate in just a short while. But 5-2-1, they died. They lost their fights early on into the city of Tang. But they're not out yet. JDG is actually near in the vicinity, of course, for them to actually avoid one another. But Boomerang Cliff again. We're back here. FPX and ALL are actually over here. I'm not sure where's the reason for this. Why are we at Boomerang Cliff? I ain't seen no Rumble Yang here, guys. I mean, I know the loot here is pretty good because it's gold, but at the same time, this is dangerous. Dongqing finds himself in a position where ALL's bow is going to get the silent. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. That was the silence, right? Yeah, the enchant comes out here, but I don't think there's going to be much chance for ALL to actually work with this. Yeah, F1 comes out here from Water, and Water had that ult preemptive. So while Bo tries to escape this, Aurora burst from lane, goes ahead. He gets parried. He's been spamming those blue focuses, man. You got to be careful with that. You can't go for it too long, unless it was a mistake from his end. But parry was clean. Zhao uses his ultimate to deny that parry damage to be worthwhile. And of course, that's going to be it for ALL for their first lives, if I'm not mistaken. A Wuchen Port from ALL Revenge, though. That's tough. Really tough. But I think that's not going to be their downfall. I think they still got a chance of resing. One of their teammates, Lane and Revenge, and there it is. Okay, they all have a chance of resetting here. A lot of money in FPX's pocket as a result, though, and the Revenge is the amount of kills with it. And actually, just they were there for a blessing quest. That's unfortunate for ALO that the reason that they were there in the first place to do the quest. Maybe we'll have to see. Actually, we can see. Let me see. Yeah, actually, the whole reason they were there was for the blessing quest. That's unfortunate. BBE, though, finds themselves into finding 2 eliminations. that we weren't able to locate and seen about the fights. That's pretty good for them. But whether or not we're gonna see a Romy Yang instance of them popping off there, I'm really, like I said, like BBE is the underdogs. Well, rather, they're the team that joined into the NBPL for the first time. I'm cheering them on like HLG to show up into the realm. Of course, for solos though, it's shout out to TG25. We're going to have to see what TE's got in store here. They're going down towards the Camel's Hump, of course, looking to try to just loot up as they can for the reset for the economy. They are not totally looted, but they did get Salvation Podium Nunchucks, whether from parry or from solving it. J-Team looking to try to get some economy as well. They're looking to try to get this quest line. It looks like it's going to be a cache hunt quest. So that's 4,500 gold once they complete it. I wish we could see where that quest is as a referee spot. Not going to happen, though. Of course. It is interesting to note, though, for this pushes and seeing about it. BB, this is the 2 eliminations, actually. Wait, hold on. Okay. KLA had the gold nunnies from... Wait, so if they had the gold nunnies... Okay, well, I guess we're going back to it. The 2 eliminations, that was it. I was about to say, I'm like, the gold nunnies, that's not the... Huh. Okay. Well, for the resets and everything, we'll have to see how that ends up because that replay was kind of cut short. I was like, to be continued. The Romy ain't going to spawn out here. We're by the Yushan village. BBE's going to hold this fort down here. Level 2 ultimate still. I do see GG actually rushing up this cliffside to try to reach towards it. KLA over by the Morris Blessing. I don't know what buff that is. J-Team also rushing towards it while TE trying to make their way north out of Metab and then into that area. Bauda rushing towards Morris Blessing as well. I'm assuming, why is EWG in the zone like this? Do they have elimination soul wounds? What are they doing in the zone like that? What's going on? Are they just looting as a result? I mean, maybe. They had nothing to their name except blue armors and common weapons, I'm assuming. But JDG is looking to try to get to Romy Yang as well. Let's take a look and see who's going to enter it. Range shots try to deny this. I mean, the Wisp was kind of hot. Are they really going to be pushing these guys out? The second realm, or first realm, hasn't been entered yet. Soul Jade's looking pretty snafty. They have 1 attack Jade off a snack. 3 HP Jades, which might be repair roll. Maybe. We'll see. It works out in their favor regardless in the end game. CJS actually going to get himself to the sky. Of course, we're going to see this Romy Yang be avoided at all costs for some reason. They don't want to try to contest it, but there they go. They got into it. Free Romy Yang for that team that didn't enter. Yeah, it's like this. It's like, okay, game of chicken. Don't enter it. What's going to happen, huh? We're going to fight. You enter it, guess what? We're going to get a free buff. So take the fight in there, huh? Don't fight us. We'll call it a draw. In the meantime, though, GG is going to go into the sky with the grapple. Has himself to hold the R&B and be in the front line. Of course, it looks like BB Snack is going to be caught out here. Oh, my gosh, dude. This is crazy. Zipping is going to be focused on. As you should. But that was an F3, actually, Yoda that CJS has. Remember, this is a game of surprises, and we're going to be very surprised as CJS has his ultimate. Should he be casting it here? Yes. And as a result, BBE Ben is going to be like, I'm just going to iframe through here. But the slashes are heavily struck, and Ben gets focused on by what seems to be the Wei Shan from LXM, and a cannon shot does not confirm the F1 burst heal damage mitigation is given Ben just a couple of extra seconds to get his F ability back up. I think he hasn't actually been able to throw it off. And there it is. Free blue focus after that R&B. That was a great grapple bump from CJS here. And there's Snack going down. I'm telling you, man, this comp is kind of cooking. It has always been a cannonball comp to counteract the Sand Siphon comp. And I think, honestly, let's say Kurumi was there instead of Ping Ying. Could have been more worthwhile. Well, let's think about this. Let's look at this in hindsight, shall we? If Kurumi was here for this comp, for the Sand Siphon comp, if she got caught out here like Snack did, she'd have probably been ulted there, right there. And if she got ulted right there, that would have been forcing BBE's to ult in response. But then what happens is that GG's 3-3-0 would have been able to Goomba Stomp and knock everybody away from the Kurumi circle. So it's kind of like a basis of it. LXM is still going to be putting the pressure as a Wei Shan since he's immune to the effects of the Sandstorm. But, as it comes out of here, the Kurumi would have made a difference. Kind of, maybe. You would still have the issue of the V2 not proccing for the Temi there. But Unfortunately, we'll have to see that later in the future. Han up against Zem. These guys are actually winning the roam. They won their buff here, and I think TE is just gonna be able to grab, this buff and maybe these kill eliminations. They only got one in this game, y'all. They got F1 enabled for Han, but Han avoids the F3 from J Team's Lee. Lee finds himself in a weird spot where V1 is still available, dog, but the Wuchen ports him out. Very nicely done though, avoiding the sandstorm that was there. And what a port that was. That actually gives them enough terrain to work with and escaping, but they get found anyways. Water, though, finds his chance for the Warrior Burst. Looks like Water is going to be looking for a range game here, and as Zhao Hu is going to be looking to chase this down with the Kurumi, he still has Circle available in case things get a little bit dangerous. Now, Yorihime ult coming out here from GG's CJS. They're going to be looking towards it. A Kurumi circle is going to be guaranteed. And of course, we are going to see LXM actually find the V3, but I don't think it's going to do much here. The Wisp comes out. The no energy circle effectively negates CJS's entirety of dodges. The F3 here is the one case instance where that F3 was really crucial. RMB gets released. LMB comes out. Double RMB coming out here. An RMB coming up from the dual halberds out of the hands of GG's LXM. And that's going to be it for FPX there. Vermilions are burned. But their teammate, I think Salty Rest. So we're going to have to see how that ends up. And later on, we're going to see a fight over here by the Pinnacle Town. Of course, Roy Shishi finding his chance here to lock through for Tutty. But I think Tutty's going to lead this one. For now, BBE's going to be looking to try to confirm against JG. JDG finds their chance of locking Pi Square. Not going to happen, though. The Tutty finds his spot, having the fear and blast anyone who's rushing towards him. Nicely done. But once you catch the stone form, you're delaying time here. And Tutty gets a horizontal clink off of Snack. And a whisk throw the bow shot from 3-3-0. Wait a second, where's 3-3-0? No, it wasn't. It was Ray Shishi. I was kind of looking towards the arrow into the kill feed, but at the moment, JDG's pipe squared, gets his F1. Still going to be locked down here. And the scare rushes are going to be confirmed as well. Bendo finds that elimination for it. And, with that to be said, 20 or 30 players are still alive in this game. And we still have second Roman Yangs. Let's be spawned out here. It's kind of going to the natural flow of Trios of Mortal War. And with Roy in the Pro League specifically, I'm not counting the 6 teams that you fight in the regions globally. But bout is over here by the Pinnacle, by the Ignis Mound. They have a chance of third partying this. They're quickly distill an active islands with the V1 Tessa through like 3 buildings. Could be best case scenario. With the stash being open up here, they're trying to see what loot is available. Dongqing, Zhao, Water, they're going to be coming back into this fight. Eliminations have KLA at the kill leader position with 8. 7 eliminations for FPX as well as for GG. And the comps have been running through here has been this Cannonball comp. I mean, replay coming out here. We're going to see a Sand Siphon from FPX's side, though. So this could be interesting. Nice F1. Oh, this is actually a Sand Siphon Kurumi versus a Ping Ying. So let's take a look and see who's going to win out the sustain game. Stanchion Sky Pillar is actually revealed from Dongqing, who's going to silence out. Kiki gets locked in here. And then the V3 is going to be initiated by Dongqing. Xiao hasn't even needed to ultimate. He's got F3 to keep the parries or keep anything in damage mitigation. Parry from Dongqing forces the Fear and Blast from Tutty, who does now have no more Furence available. The V2 is available for every one of these teammates that include themselves in healing state. And as it comes out here, Dongqing has a Furence still available to push back, misses it. Gonna get caught out here for that for the pole sword swings, but I think those bow shots confirm Pi Squared's F1 to be utilized. Pi gonna be looking ahead, gets a Warrior Burst is caught out here, and that right there is a 3-man elimination where the Sand Siphon with Kurumi just works big time. Now, Dongqing finds, FPX finds ALL, maybe, I don't know, they're looking in the bush. There's no bell around here. Wait, what are you doing? They're going to ambush? No, wait, they're going to ambush what? There's no Realm and Yang. Dudes, come on, man, you got to be kidding me. You know, it's funny, we're in the vicinity of a Ballista. I'm confused as to why ALL, they're going to go towards the Realm. They have to, right? There's no reason they reveal their position like that. But, BBE's holding on the 4. They got level 3 ultimate for the Cicada, massive. But they'll be going ahead and going through. Now, of course, QGG getting himself in there. It should be interesting to know that DRG has V2 for the Viper. Like I said, we like surprises. But they have F3 too. So essentially, what's gonna happen is that QGG, right, gets silence from the V2, and then he's gonna get bursted down. But then he's 2 second stun is like 3 blue focuses from the enemy team as quickly as can be. So he's gonna be quick with the F3 to actually deny it. We're gonna have to see whether or not that F3 V2 works for Viper though. This is gonna be a very substantial buff. Oh my goodness. Are we getting a pop-off game from BBE with the Draco Storm, or are they not gonna find any targets for 3 minutes? Listen, this happens too often. Too often, bro. I'm not sure what Peak has in store for this. Because he's going to have 19 grapples. These guys, oh, okay, what's ALL? Oh, I got to wait. Lee making it. Yo, I don't know why J-Team and ALL are running in the trees. I know why, right? Placement, duh. But no engagement factor between these two guys, man. I mean, maybe the one sees the other and the other sees the other, and then they're like, they probably don't see me. And then the other one's like, they probably don't see me, and then they're just going to dip out. But DRG Wushin is bringing the Ballista over to a prominent range for enemies if they want to kind of fight into the Camel Stump. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but the zone can change at any point of the flip. We are going to see VPE run through 8 minutes of the Draco Storm. So it should be pretty good. TE Han, Leo, Swarm. I mean, if I were them, I see blue armor. I'm like, yeah, we can engage that. But then the Ballista is like, I don't think so. Because now that DRG finds his chance of his niche of finding the Ballista, we will see EWG find a violent challenge because they need kills. They actually need a plethora of kills. They got only 3 kills. They're bottom of the 12 or bottom of the 6 for the 18. But they still have a chance of finding one, bro. Finding a team that's worthwhile, wanting to hunt them down, and it's a couple's grace. Now, looking at the top kill leaderboard, you can see Sand Siphon with Zipping Ying is actually the leader of that with KLA. 7 kills, though, for FPX here with the Kurumi instead. And they'll make their mark. We should see the Kurumi work well in the final circles when things really count for cleansing off debuffs because of burns coming out, which is another thing, right? Burns. That's where it comes out to the final circle where cleansing is going to be crucial. If you can deny those burns from ticking away part by part, piece by piece, you're doing good. You're going to be avoiding that because burn against Zipping won't do Zipping justice because just Zipping is just going to be at half healing efficiency. And with V2's healing at like what, 300, 500, 300 to 500. I think it's 300 now. It could be 300 now. I know V1 was 300. Excuse me for that sneeze. But if it's going to be 300 to 500, they'll have a good chance of actually being able to switch out that Zipping for Kurumi because she doesn't care. She cleanses stuff for 12 seconds. I could see EWG 14, though, having a little bit of trouble here. He's got F2V1. Finding a target to lock down is really tough. It really is, especially if you don't have your tester to back you up to try to get the stun. But I think if he's careful, he could third party initiate into a sky drop with the V1. The best case scenario for him to actually guarantee a silence against someone like, say, Takeda, where you can actually F2 Takeda. But Takeda, they might wait out their Fear and Blast. They might see the R&B blue focus. And then so you have to understand, best case scenario is not to throw the F2 after the V1 ultimate. And then what happens is because you don't want the Takeda to push you back while your F2 is going off because he can actually interrupt your F2, push you back, and now you're on cooldown. If you go for a blue focus instead, right, what happens is that he's going to still need to want to use Takeda Fear and Blast, but now he's on cooldown for 3 seconds. You can get F2 now and then silence him. Because regardless, he's going to Fear and Blast you. But GG versus TE in a range fight of cannon fodder. And then the plateau is the no man's land for this area. Dragon-like might's been revealed. TE LYD has it on hand. F3 for GG CJS, though. We saw it be crucial into the fights earlier. Up against, if I'm not mistaken, was it FBX? Into that zone. You remember the one I was talking about? The Vermilion Birds might be utilized. But I know this fight's been happening for such a long time. Moonbane should be dropping anywhere around here in the next couple of seconds. And then we'll have the last Moonbane at around the 6 minute mark. 6 minute, 17-second marks or so. ALL, though, no longer in the tree line. They're dipping out. They're finding the Violent Challenger EWG a little bit too troublesome in spotting out their position. I like how Bo actually found a spot of shooting out the cannon at the building or at the bush to ensure there's anybody in there before his team actually could get ambushed. But ALL is going to be looking at towards BBE and avoiding them. The middle ground, though. EWG getting forced out here from FPX. And I think Fun plus Phoenix is going to find their chance. Oh, Dreadful Whale. Hello, excuse me. E9 actually has a God tier Jade here, but he can't use it because you're very stagnant in activating that Jade. So he's going to be backing off here. Cleanses are not in the favor of XG. XG uses his ultimate to cast. I think that was a Moral Defiance proc that he just forcefully used. Unfortunate group heal actually going to be in an effective state for XG, but he's trying to get his vitality heals, and everyone's just burning these guys back and forth. EWG picking up the Violent Challenger like this is going to force a lot of attention that they're not ready for. They have blue armor too, so you got to understand the sustain that they're going to be needing to get is needingly apparent until they see the enemy, unless the enemy team hits them and sees blue armor, like, brother. J team, though, finds a res here. I'm not sure what happened. We don't know. I don't know. But DRG is, they know. I think they know really well. This ravine has a lot of nooks and crannies that DRG isn't wanting to find a, F around to find out. I'm using the F around, to keep it PG-13. But to make sure that they have a good advantage here, the Ballista is pulled up to the court side, and you're gonna see Wu Shen try to hit these 3-pointer shots. What an ultimate coming out from oh my goodness, wait a second. Oh, that's unfortunate. But Wu Chen teleport is huge. You have 3 from Moonlight is crucial, and now they can push this team. And another Wu Chen port from the backline. Actually, you're gonna see Mao Bomb getting caught out with these burns. The V3, another Mortal Defiance in the game. Mao had to burn that through. That's unfortunate. Really unfortunate. They find a cave actually they can hole up in for a reset. But GG LXM trying to go for those burns, the range shots, and then DRG's Moonlight. Oof, the Ballista is still in use from GG's side now, though. No doubt that they're going to actually find these Ballista shots will work in their favor, because this ravine type fight like this would be a really clean experience. The parry comes out, the enchant's guaranteed. The double blue focus was not released, but Wusha 98 gets caught with the F3. It gets shotgunned, and Lee goes down due to WFC's potential pressure. And, Ballista angle is there. We can see it, but they can't see them around the corner, and that's unfortunate as a result. So with that being said, hopefully XLY finds a way of getting his team to place. Okay, Ballista shot. Come on, bro. Take a chill pill. J team had a close encounter, though, until the turnaround happened of that team into the the region of just holding up blue focuses is one thing, but then the enchant happened, denial of the parry, and then they try to reinitiate. They should have taken time to dip out because I don't know. I mean, like, you have an opportunity there to actually hold the fort down until 1 second that you could take time to reset could happen, because a Ballista in the range in the opposite direction means you can go in the other direction. Hopefully, though, QGG finds their chance for the cannon. F1 giving out, free heals. Well, that comes out. This Forbidden Seal in the zone, somehow getting procced when everyone is still fighting out here is kind of nuts, to be honest. And we're going to see Roy Shishi looks to try to regroup with his teammate, finds QGG. That's a gold armor. Roy Shishi quick to pick that up. And as it comes out here, we're going to see a Razor Swift. He finds himself in the middle of that Razor Swift. He can't activate ult. He was about to walk into the... he was about to burn ult for nothing here. Roy Shishi being very careful about his heals. He's going to have advanced heal as it comes out here. CXZ looking for the Dragon Slayer, or not the Dragon Slayer, the Heartstopper kick. CXC getting some time to reset in front of danger, but QGG is right. He's down, and we know this ultimate came out here with Snag actually dropping in a massive amount of sustain for the team. Now the Merciless Havoc can be revealed. Now there's a chance for the Forbidden Seal to be negated, and these guys can just go crazy, ballistic, everything in the nature. CXC finds a way of scarcing back to his team with KLA, a ballistic shot. Unfortunate. Really unfortunate. 17S is going to have to burn his ultimate for it and try to heal back. GG team is going to have 8 eliminations and trying to farm this out. But I think with KLA, they have no Takeda. As a result, this could force him to have to retreat towards a farming position of just going for placement. 5 minutes, 26 players. Big ravine fight over here. CGS goes into cannon mode. He's got a backup with the ballista, and CGS is like, yo, you got me, homie. I got you, homie. And then with everything, every single extension off of a cannon shot could result in a ballista shot for free if the angle is just right. CGS, though, pushes this team and backs off. We can see 330 actually farming up a rage as a result. The ravine fights are happening again. We're going to see 330 actually getting elimination with the ballista. Ooh, brother, ooh. 330 actually going to go ahead and lock this out. Lane gets teleported right to the edge of this, but this zone is closing in. He's getting buttery rocked all over the place, and then another team shows up to that position. To XLY in this corner, you can see him with the Tessa ultimate to be at 80%. LYD finds a kill off of Peak. 330 finds a kill in midair against Lane, and then a V1 to V1 ultimate from both the from all sides of the corner forces 330 in a stun state and an enchant state as well. There it is. Cannon mode's engaged, but the Wu Chen walls are going to die every single one of these shots from 330, and 330 actually had to use ultimate for himself here. Unfortunate, but G finds a kill off of Mao, goes into cannon mode, a 0% rage. We're going to see the soul bloom be picked up from 330 immediately, even though he's going to lose out the HP. We're going to see the switch out here between the CGS and 330. 330 going to drop into that ballista shot, maybe waiting for the loot and pick up the soul blooms for a rage. Dongqing has the V3 Takeda ultimate. He's looking to get out of this wisp position, but it looks like he's actually going to be looking to hold the LMBs off of this end. Roishishi gets himself caught out. Cannon shots coming through. Dongqing gets caught to the ballista shots from 330, and Dongqing is actually going to be having his chance to have a reset with his V2 from the Kurumi. And as a result, 330 finds this ballista shot as well. Snack gets caught out. A huge Tesla ultimate coming in here from XLY to actually throw things off the balance, and LXM is going to deny that if anyone takes prioritization. But you can see in the east side of this picture, the right side, T.E. Han, he's getting a little bit in a bad spot. BB Snack gets caught in the ballista shot, big time damage, and FPX is going to be going for a flank around the corner against BBE to try to kill him off behind the zone lines. Or they're going to be holding the ground. They drop the purple bow. WFZ does go ahead and get a kill off of Leo, and I think Han's going to be next, or rather DRG's WFZ going to be locked into the zone. CGS finds his cannon, or finds his huge play here as a Farius Shen ultimate, and there he is getting a kill off of Dongqing, and of course 330 just picking up the soul blooms as these fights are happening, and he's going to be getting his rage back for his teammate to be ready for it. Water goes ahead and gets knocked back with his cannon shot into this corner. This is a really tough spot for DRG, but I think J Team's XLY has been the most impressive feat. How the heck is this man still alive, bro? He's the only man in the entirety of the team to still be alive, and they're probably in the 17th or 18th place, but you know, FPX's Xiaohu goes down from Roishishi, but I think Roishishi going to be in a weird spot here. He's got his Takeda ultimate not up just yet. We're going to see CGS get to the sky with his V3 Yodohime hold, goes for the slashes and confirms against Snack, gets even higher to the ground. Doesn't have F3. He's going to be keeping his mid-air momentum going. LXM looking for the eliminations. These guys have 14 eliminations so far to this lobby, locking out Roishishi. Roishishi still putting up rage, and as a result, Moonlight gets caught out here to the corner of the ravine. Lock him away, put him away into the corner, and that V1, oh my goodness, man. He's getting all these ultimates. How is he doing it? WFZ going to be looking for the 3-man enchant, and this is going to be a quick R&B release, and LXM in the zone dies due to tick damage, and CGS finds the reset here, and as it comes out, 330 also at a low enough HP finds a vitality heal somehow, but then the poison splash, you hate to see it. WFC finds the elimination off of T.E. Han, who does go down for the team. 330 getting caught into these burns, and he's still trying to heal up into this corner, and another set of burns, and then we're going to see the enchant of 330 go. Yo, I can't, bro. He gets enchanted into the zone with WFZ putting himself into the corner. That's unfortunate. WFZ goes down. GG still has 14 eliminations. They lost their Wei Shan, but Reishishi actually having the extension off with his R&B fan into the V3. I'm honestly really curious to seeing what Reishishi got up a plan in store for this. Maybe he's looking to try to get some parts. He gets the elimination off of XLY. We're going to see Reishishi go to the sky. R&B hopefully holding this check here. 330 doesn't have a chance of getting out of here if they keep the staggers on, but a Merciless Havoc, yeah, they'll do it. F1 to be initiated from BBE, though, from Reishishi, so if anyone throws a blue focus, a wild haymaker like such, it's going to be a good chance for him to knock him out. But look, the zone damage, man. I think that's been the biggest grievance of this lobby so far. Ben goes ahead, gets eliminated off of CGS, and guess who gets the kills, man? Yo, fist bump the fist bump. How many eliminations these boys get? Hold on a second. Like 11 eliminations. Did they get MVP? Or is the 14 eliminations enough for GG? I think they get a 1 point. I don't know if a GG got second or third. If they do have third, they get a 1.3 multiplier. And second, they'll get a 1.4 multiplier. And if they got second, then that means that they are MVP. Yep. I mean, it happens. I mean, they survived, bro. All the testing chants and everything. Like, whoa, you saw that guy? He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's what I'm talking about. I was pushing him. Like, I was like, yeah, and then they were going, you know. It's like playing a game of Battlefield. We are going to get to the round scores. I want to see how that's going to end up. Be right back. And we'll be right there in 3, 2, 1. And we got it here. 5, 2, 1 actually going to be the first people that we're going to see here. 0 points into this round. Really blows to see that. JDG with 1 point, though. ALL with 2.1. 3.3 for J Team. TE with 3.9. 8.2 for EWG. Battle with this 8.2 game as well, but an 8.5 for KLA. Fun Plus Phoenix has a 10.6 game. DRG has a 15.8 game. 19.4 for BBE. And then 22.1 for GG. GG did get that second place position, though, because of the ranking points to be given of 2.5. So they got a 1.4 multiplier for their kills. And then BBE got first place with the ranking points, but they were still shy of 3 points. But hey, 2.7 points, whatever. We were still close in. They have been getting their points back. Can we get a standings? I'm hoping. Can we get a standings? We get okay, yeah, no, 100%. I think 330 really was the fairy shin of the game of all time. Yodohime F3 actually giving CJS enough time for his team to get a 1 heal off, and then they're in there. We saw that into the Serpent's Pass. Standings, thank you. TE 8.4 so far today for their game 1. J Team 19.8 so far for the day 1. 24.5 for ALL for their day 1. And 26.8 for EWG. They got a good game that last game for point values. I think that's 8.2 game, I think. 30.8 for BBE into game 2. Or into their first game of playing. And then this is where it gets into the middle ground. Okay, so JDG only 8 points so far into 3 rounds. We still have more style maps, of course, but they need to get at least 50 points. Maybe. We'll see. 521 only has 4. Man. Their dominating first game was like, it's a crucial point. But 2.7 points into day 2 with 3 rounds down, 3 to go. This is going to be a scary spot for 521. They have a really good, strong start for the first day, but they need to make Morris Isle count. If they can get a 14-point game, just like a 14-kill game like that, get 19 points off of a game, maybe piggyback off of a double-digit 10-point game to round 5 or 6, and they're good to go. Alas, we do see GG with their first day game being today with 57.6. The first round was like, ouch, like for that point game, like they're chilling. And this game was definitely a testament to it because this is their second MVP for today. And then Bauda has 20.2 for 57.9. 0.3 difference between them and GG. That puts him into a good spot because 56.1 for 521. They still have to earn it through, but they're in a weird spot because top 6, this is where it is. And now, of course, this is Fun Plus Phoenix's second day for playing, 84.2, and they still haven't passed OUG. And OUG still has a day to work with. So they're definitely not going to take the first place spot. I'm not sure if there's any proposed points for finals, but we'll have to see about that. It should be proposed points. Yeah, there should be proposed points. It's not like a pre-final, proposed points type system. It's different. But Wolves still surpassing DRG. This is DRG and KLA's second day of gaming. They got 78.9 for 5th and then 6 for KLA. Obviously, right now, 3 rounds left. They can hold the top 12 for sure. They have a good value, the good average. It's really the middle of the 6. I always look towards the middle of the 6 for values because this is going to be the decimal points to be made, whether or not they pass through the gatekeeper right now, who is WBG. But by the second day, by the end of today, JDG would be the gatekeeper, and if not JDG, 521 will be for 100%. Or if we even go back even further beyond, if we see a day 2 performance coming out from these guys that be low value, then whatever their day 3 is going to be having to pass those point values of like 51 if anything, right? JDG really is that gatekeeper for sure for now. But with that being said, we're going to conclude part 1. We're going to get into part 2. This is a really long recording so far. I think I did a little bit more ranting than anything. So let me know, guys. Feedback, please. 100% need it if you watch to the end. And if you don't watch the end, it's okay. But I do appreciate you guys for supporting by watching throughout whichever sections you've enjoyed most. Any scenes that you like, such as for first round, second round, or third round that you've enjoyed the most, let me know in the comments. Any improvements, any feedback at all. love it. If you want to like it. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. Very good. But regardless, thank you guys for your time. My name is Severio for the NBPL caster scene. I'll see you guys later for part 2 for rounds 4 through 6. See ya.